And okay, we are live. Hello,
We've
everyone.
done it.
We've done it. We've managed to conquer the internet. We are live, and it is Saturday. And welcome. Good evening. Good evening.
We've got a squad today.
We have a real squad. I heard some extra voices. Who's there? Who's all here?
I'm here.
Lynn's here.
It was like no one talk at once.
No, not everybody at once. But hi. Oh god, there it is again. He's in my head. Is that you?
No.
You're in my head.
No, it's just me.
Oh, it's just Shane. Oh, Shane's here.
How's it going, bros?
Hello. Welcome to Demiplanes and Doodles with a Vic and a Lynn and now a Shane and a Tabitha is here as chat mom.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. And strangers here too, apparently. So we have a fun episode planned for y'all. But first,
so much fun.
So it's gonna be so much fun. But first, let's roll through our announcements so that we can get into this as quickly as we can, because this is going to be a complete mess. So,
yes.
As always,
such a mess.
So it's gonna be such a mess. We have our alcohol, we have our loaded literature chosen. So
the sigh.
Oh yes, this is gonna be great. So, as always, we're going to give a shout out to our friends at Talon and Claw, who do amazing wooden tabletop products such as wooden dice. They have dice vaults, DM screens, dice trays. They now have spell slot trackers for all of you fancy magic users. They have lots and lots of wonderful stuff.
I really need to buy some.
I really need to start like budgeting for I mean their stuff is like relatively like within reason and it's fantastic, but I need to like start having a budget so I can start planning to buy all these things that I want, because I need a dice tray, I want a dice tower, I want some of those fancy coasters they do, and also they do custom engravings, which is fantastic.
And mind you, this is all hand-picked wood.
It is
like done by hand.
It is. It's so fantastic. Like I follow them on Twitter, and like I am always excited when they're like, "Oh, I'm shopping for wood today," and like they're showing like all the wood that they're purchasing, and I'm like, "Yes, this is beautiful."
Sweet.
So beautiful. And they're always like experimenting with new products and new things. Like they're always trying like new types of wood. So go follow them on Twitter.
Yeah.
Check out their Etsy store. The link is down below. Plus, if you want to purchase anything in their Etsy store, we have a coupon code for you. And if you use the code Divine Conquer at checkout, you get 10% off on your purchase. So go give them a look-see. Go use the coupon and enjoy your wonderful wooden products.
Yes.
So, moving on from that, as I go down the Google Doc, or our Brock as we call it, the Bro Doc. The Bro Doc. So we have friends projects. Hey Shane, you got something to talk about? I noticed there was a thing on YouTube the other day.
Yes, and I noticed this when it's very fitting because I went on Twitter today, and a certain hashtag was trending.
Ooh, really?
It was hashtag Batman Day.
Nice.
And if you are at all a fan of Batman, I am fortunate enough to be part of the voiced cast for an incredible audio drama series, completely fan-made, called Echoes of the Night.
So cool.
It takes place during Bruce Wayne's early years as the Caped Crusader. So year one has happened. He's kind of like still a semi-supernatural entity in Gotham, and he himself is also still kind of naive as a superhero and crime fighter. So like it's really cool, and that's going to be over at Geeks for Fun, which is a awesome, just such a great YouTube channel that I've been blessed to be a part of. And yes, link in the chat.
Yeah, links in the chat for the latest episode.
Yeah, for the latest episode of Echoes of the Night. Definitely support it, because 2 weeks ago we had the first episode that featured myself in a minor role, but coming up soon hopefully. I actually don't know what the episode order is. We'll see me as a major supporting character.
Oh yes, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well. But the episodes they have up there are great, and the other series they have that I have been a part of are fantastic as well. Their biggest one is probably Dragon Ball DC.
Yes.
It is the story of the DC universe if planet Krypton was replaced with planet Vegeta.
I love
So
it
you got
much.
Saiyans instead of Kryptonians in the DC universe. It's a wild ride.
Yes, as somebody who greatly enjoys Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and DC comics, I love it very much.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
It's so good.
I'm excited for the next series that they're doing, because they're doing that, and they're doing a spin-off series, which I've not. They announced it recently.
Ooh.
In the last arc of the of that storyline, and Kakarot Kent, because
Kakarot
that's where he.
Kent.
Yes. Yes.
I love that name.
At one point gets transported to an alternate universe, and you get teased, which they then announced the next series they're doing, Dragon Ball DC Bombshells.
Yes.
So it's the DC Bombshells universe where like all the men are off at war, so all the female superheroes are taking care of business at home. But you've also got the Dragon Ball DC characters involved.
Oh, I love
That
it.
sounds awesome.
I love it. It's so much fun. There's just some amazingly creative and talented people over there.
Yes. So.
Yes.
Right. So.
And-
yeah. Go ahead.
Next announcement.
Yeah, so go ahead, check out Geeks for Fun and all the amazing projects they do. Next announcement, I'm doing a special birthday shout-out for a really good friend of mine. I do not know if she's listening at the moment, but if she is listening now or in the future, hey, Sydney, happy birthday. Thank you for being a really awesome friend, person, and bard in general. She's a very good friend of mine that I've known for, since high school, actually. And I'm glad that we're still friends and hanging out. We always did cosplay stuff together. A few years ago, she played in my first rendition of the Horde of the Dragon Queen campaign, and she gave me all of the ulcers as a DM, and it was fantastic. She was
us having to plot and literally sending you out of the room.
She was the group wild card, and I love her very much. So. Hopefully in the future, I definitely plan on putting together once I'm done with the Tyranny of Dragons for Divide and Conquer, I definitely want to do a chill game, and by chill game I mean a game that I don't stream, where I can get some friends together and we just all play and I DM for y'all, because I would love to do that again. So yeah, that's my birthday shout out for a really good friend of mine. And moving on from that, hey Lynn, let's talk about our thing that we always do.
Oh, I like this thing.
So, me and Vic have a passion project that we work on.
Yes. It's a little thing,
using
you know.
Our lovely D&D characters, our boys, called Alistair.
Yes.
And it's a webcomic that is on Webtoon, and you guys can read it there. We upload every other Monday on Webtoon, but if you're a patron, you can support us for as little as $1 a month and get the comic a couple days early, as well as some goodies, behind the scenes things. But it's about a righteous paladin bro who goes on an adventure to save the world. And
Yes.
It's adorable.
And he's got a special
great.
friend with him.
His special
Yeah.
best friend. Super awesome best friend.
Super awesome best friend barbarian, bro.
West.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah. Check it out if that's your thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, so yeah, check it out. We're on Webtoon. Go subscribe to us there. It's a free thing to do. It's a free comic to read. If you want to, support some small time artists, and Lynn, who is also a small artist.
I am a small.
Lynn is the smallest artist. She's very small. So think about.
I'm not that small.
You fit in my pocket. And I probably fit in Shane's pocket, so like you're like extra small. So
well, that depends. How tall are you, Vic?
I'm like 5'11". I'm like almost 6 feet, almost there.
I would fit in your pocket. I'm actually an inch shorter than you.
What? Oh my god! I thought you. No, I'm okay. I'm confusing you with Nick. Nick's the giant. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Nick is the giant.
Nick is tall.
Okay, I'll fit in Nick's pocket then. All right. So you're gonna fit in my pocket. Lynn will go in your pocket, and I'll go in Nick's pocket. Got it.
Those nesting dolls.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's gonna be Nick, Hank, Vic, Hank, Shane, Lynn, or well, actually, how tall is Tabitha?
Tabitha is
5'7".
about 5'7".
Okay, so we have
I'm so
another
small.
layer to the.
So there's another layer to the.
Matryoshka.
There's another layer to the Matryoshka doll.
Matryoshka. I thought it was a P.
And meh. Tomato potato is what I say.
I'm 5'3".
You are so cute. I love you.
I have the smallest leg.
I love the fact that you told me you were 5'3", and I freaked the fuck out because the main character in my story is 5'3", and I'm like, oh my god, Lynn.
Well, the funny thing is though, like my husband John, he's almost 6 foot. I think he's about as tall as you, Vic.
Yeah, we're about the same height.
I stand next to him, and our hips align. Like our legs are the same length, so I don't know where I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe he's just really long torsoed.
It might be it. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm more leg, if anything.
I just have a comically small, like short torso. Maybe I don't know.
I think what happened is like you're kind of like stuck halfway in a demiplane that's shrinking you.
Oh, that makes sense then.
That's
Or
probably
maybe
what
like Grayson, you're mostly legs.
You're mostly legs. It's just you lost a little bit of torso along the way.
Yes, Nick is a foot taller than Lynn.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm glad this is.
I love that so much.
We all need it.
We're all gonna meet up and we're all gonna just like stand in a line from like shortest to tallest. It's gonna be the best thing ever.
It's gonna be like those really awkward like family photos.
We're gonna take Listen, we're at that point in our friendship where we all need to take an awkward family photo together. It needs to happen.
With the dogs.
With the dogs. I'm bringing the dogs.
With the pets.
With the pets.
All of us have to have like a really ugly sweater.
Yes, we're gonna do that.
I will be the only one not bringing a pet.
Aw, that's okay. You can hold my dog. He likes to be held like a baby.
Yay.
Yay.
Or you can hold my lizard.
Mac.
Mac is the smallest.
Uh-oh.
Lynn, I need you to know
dragon.
that I had a dream last night about wanting to hold Mac, and he said no. I need you to know that happened.
That sounds like him, yes.
Yes. he literally told me no in human speech. He went no, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So, moving on from that mess. That's what tonight's gonna be like. So,
oh yeah, tonight's gonna be a mess.
Support Alistair! Support Geeks for Fun and their Echoes of the Night series and like all of their future endeavors that they do. Hey, check out all these cool projects.
Would you say Geeks for Fun, Echoes of the Night, and all the other stuff they do? Would you say they do fanfics?
Yes.
That is fanfic.
How about that?
Whoa!
Let's transition.
Let's transition straight into our title card for tonight. Welcome to the Demiplane.
We apologize.
Welcome to the Demiplane, motherfuckers.
We're sorry. This episode should just be called "We're Sorry."
We're sorry. Yeah. Hold on, I'm not done with this.
At least
I'm like not done with this at all. I'm like way not done with this.
We're professionals. we're doing what? Yes.
Oh God, no! It's Sanic. It's Sanic. Don't be sorry. No. Sanic art glorious.
Oh, I love that. I love that Knuckles in the corner.
It's what you wanted.
Knuckles.
So angry.
Hey, Metal Shade.
Don't be sorry. It's what you wanted.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I attempted to do to do a Navi inspired tales up here.
I greatly appreciate it. That's a fantastic. I applaud you so much.
That's frightening.
I love this angry red ant down here.
So mad.
Right.
I just now noticed Shadow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need my
Shadow's-
eye bleed.
I love
Shadow's
Shadow.
not too well.
He's my. Listen, he's my favorite fanfic character. I mean, oh no. Why does
I really like Shadow. I even did a voice reel where I did some quotes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love Shadow very much.
I don't know
hate what
anything
Sega's been
about-
doing.
I don't know anything about Shadow. I don't know anything about Sonic. I'm still out of the loop.
Should we explain Sonic lore to Lynn right now? Should we stop to do that?
No. We don't have time.
No, we don't have.
We don't have enough time for this.
Wait. We should just stop the stream, and I need everyone to explain to me the plot of all the Kingdom Hearts, please.
Okay, so Kingdom Hearts. So first we have to describe to you what Kingdom Hearts is.
Just go listen to the Starbomb song.
Yes. Basically, yes.
I listened to a YouTuber, I think it was Barry, who like had it explained to him, Kingdom Hearts explained to him, and then he recounted it back. And I was just, I don't know what's happening. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think most people do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
gave up on that a long time ago.
Okay.
This is what happens when you kick Nomura off of the Final Fantasy 13 project or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
And now he's doing this.
Okay, what is happening?
What are you doing?
So I'm trying to free draw on here, but it keeps switching to the color picker tool, the color picker on me, and I'm like, what? There you go. Okay, we fixed it. It's fixed now.
Sonic and the Black Knight was not an actual video game that happened. It was just someone's fanfiction.
Yes, exactly. So, fanfiction. Hey, guys. So, we're going to talk about fanfiction tonight, and we're going to draw some really weird stuff because of it. So...
You turned into a robot for a second. It was scary.
Yeah, I heard that.
Thank you, Jeremiah. This is the way we introduce it to Lynn. Show her the Sonic Dreams collection video we did on YouTube.
No.
Oh God, no.
No.
You didn't even see some of the weird stuff that's in there. Like, you can go around that motel and see that there's some people behind there.
Ooh.
Jeremiah, why didn't you explore that level more? That is my question to you. Anyway, so...
Blame Jeremiah. He was the one that was playing it.
Jeremiah was the one that was doing the controls. We were all just bearing witness to it.
Yeah, it's because Jesus didn't tell him to go.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh my God. So fanfiction. Let's talk about fanfiction. So,
what is fanfiction?
What is fanfiction?
Let's start real simple.
Well, we all know what fanfiction is. It's essentially
assume someone doesn't.
Okay,
I know what it is.
Okay. I'm glad
easy.
you know what it is, Lynn. Let's start easy. So fanfiction, as a definition, which I'm not Googling, by the way. But we probably should have an actual Webster dictionary definition of it if there is one.
I'll look it up.
Okay, please do, Shane. And you can read it to us.
Equals fanfiction.
Fanfiction.
So from what I've always heard, it's you writing in the universe of a thing. But it's your own story, but you're using like elements and the structure of said world in your own thing.
Yeah, so basically you're writing something that is considered non-canonical to the actual source material, and whether you choose to stick to the hard canon or completely go outside canon, that is like entirely your freedom to do. So in people and people always have like different rules for fan fiction. People have different like yeses and nos to it, but essentially it is your own personal work that you're writing that is non-canonical to the actual source material because it's coming from you.
The Oxford definition of fan fiction.
Yes.
Fan fiction written by fiction written by a fan of and featuring characters from a particular TV series, movie, etc.
Yes.
So it features characters. It is a work of fiction written by a fan of some sort of creation.
I like how it has to like specific state. It is fiction.
It is fiction. It has to be fiction.
It can't be real. I'm sorry.
Absolutely
not.
Well,
it can't. it can't be like someone writing a paper on it.
I
Like,
would
it can't be
100%
someone writing
write
an
a
essay.
paper. I would 100% write an essay on fanfiction.
Okay.
Oh,
let's
have
do
you
it.
ever done a book report on Dante's Inferno?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Or Paradise Lost?
Yes.
Yep.
Congratulations, you've written an essay on fanfiction.
Woo!
Excellent.
Because both of those are biblical fanfiction.
Correct.
In
Correct.
fact, one could argue that the freaking Divine Comedy is just Dante writing a self-insert fanfic.
Yes. Love it. 10 out of 10.
Love it.
So So now we know what fanfiction is, and this is where I'm going to pose the question to everybody. What is your favorite fanfiction trope?
I'm going to go ahead and save this, by the way.
Okay, I already have it saved, so if we want to clear it out and like do our thing.
Favorite.
Yes. Like you can say what you can say what your favorite trope is and what your least favorite is. Yes.
I'm gonna Google fanfic tropes.
I have a list for you, Lynn. I have a list ready. You ready for this? So
I'm actually just trying to think of one.
okay, so there are several tropes. I'm reading from an actual list right now. Some of these tropes, including mutual pining, enemies to friends to lovers, or just enemies to lovers, whatever speed you like to work at. Fake dating, undercover couple. Hashtag there was only one bed. Soulmates AUs, fairy tale fantasy magic AUs. Forced proximities and bonding, slice of life, case fic, fluff and angst. Slow burn. I think that might be your favorite, Lynn.
I think slow burn is, yeah.
I think you like slow burn very much.
Slow burn and enemies to lovers, I think.
Yes.
I mean, oh God, Cole, you bring up a good one.
Cold Crusader High School AU.
Cool. Yeah, high school AU.
High school AUs are fun.
That's definitely a fun one.
Hey, you want to know what my least favorite one is? Coffee shop AUs.
Oh God.
I cannot stand coffee shop AUs for the sole purpose of it's not realistic and it just stresses me out. Because that's not how they work.
Funny.
That's not how they work.
It's really funny. I follow another voice actor on YouTube and Twitter. His name's PM Seymour.
Yes.
And he has a bunch of OCs, and he recently just drew art of his male OCs as baristas.
Oh my God.
No.
I think I know that for an AU, it was specifically requested from Colton, Ariel's player, that Ariel, if he was going to be working in any kind of retail job or any kind of customer service job, he would be a Starbucks barista.
Oh God.
And that was probably my favorite trope to go with because he just looks very tired and miserable and just stressed all the time, which I think sums up his journey as a paladin in Sacred Worlds. Isn't being a paladin just a customer service job?
You know what?
Essentially.
A comic book shop AU might be kind of fun.
Oh, that actually would be fun. But, you know, it's like, I know for a fact that sometimes, like, I have a hard time with, like, specific AUs, specifically coffee shop and bakery AUs, because it's like, I can't suspend my belief long enough for it. Because it's just like, oh, I'm gonna just go off and I'm gonna make a cake in the back and then I'm gonna come to the front and I'm gonna flirt with my boo for a while, and I'm like, you're falling behind. You're falling behind. You have to do 20 cakes by the end of the day, and God forbid if you get an order for a baby shower. I'm not self-projecting through my day. I'm not. I had a baby shower order today. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh my God. I literally went into the walk-in and I screamed.
Yeah, I can't.
There's nothing fun about working retail.
I have a favorite trope, but someone in chat just said one that is actually kind of interesting: making a sequel.
Ooh.
We
if a series or something has ended and you write fan fiction to make a sequel, well, that's actually I actually like that. Which, fun fact, everyone knows Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
the majority of published Sherlock Holmes books are fan fiction.
I love that.
Arthur Conan Doyle only wrote so many stories featuring the character that once he killed him off, like, a bunch of fans just started writing new Sherlock Holmes stories. And eventually, once the copyright wore out on the character, these stories were able to be published. And so a lot of the published material and stories of Sherlock Holmes are not written by Doyle.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's actually really fantastic. Oh my god. Oh my god, Alistair, can you make up your mind? Can I get like
Your tea options are like so limited.
Bro, like okay, so like how are you boiling the tea? Like what kind of where do you get your blends from? Like how fresh are your blends? Like how long do they keep for? About what temperature do you steep them at? Like
I just work here. Oh, here.
That's why I'm asking you, bro.
Oh my goodness. Can I get, from the comments, can I get a burger?
Sir, this is Starbucks. Sir, this is a bookstore. Oh.
So about that burger.
Yeah, so like, do you guys have burgers then?
Oh god.
I'll never forget. Oh my god, it's like my it's like my favorite thing, like from a Steven Universe episode where like this kid walks into a donut shop and he's like, "Yeah, can I get like a caprese salad?"
Fun fact in the comments, Cold Crusader said, at one point in time, the longest piece of English literature to ever exist was a Super Smash Brothers fanfic.
I love that fact so much.
So this is Walgreens.
Sir, this is a Walgreens.
Then it got beat by another. Oh, someone said then it got beat by another fanfic, right? Question mark.
I would love to have that confirmed. Let me save this because I love this image. This is the kind of this is what we're doing tonight. So quality content. So yeah. Oh yeah. I never said what my favorite tropes are.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love me. It depends on what I'm feeling at the moment.
Wait.
Yes.
Are we talking in terms of writing or reading?
Oh, that's very true. I think it was just in terms of, I guess, like what you like to enjoy, more so. I guess as a reader, what do you like? As a reader, what do you like?
The most longest written fanfic is Loud House, apparently.
Good lord. I personally, as a writer, I love to write slow burn. Like, I love to write that shit so bad. But as a reader, it frustrates the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because my favorite, probably where I got a good love of slow burn, was probably the entirety of the Ranma 1/2 series. That is the slowest of burn, and it finishes, and they're still not technically together, but they're working towards it. Still. That's a hell of a slow burn. Oh man, I always love a good. I actually like the whole to flip on a trope. One that I love to read is I love to read lovers to enemies instead of enemies to lovers.
So we're the same person.
Yes, we're basically the same person. I love a good bitter lovers that turn into bitter exes that become enemies and are like pitted against each other. I love that shit so much. It's so. Mwah. And then eventually it's chef kiss, and they have to fight their old feelings towards that person, and sometimes they don't win, and it's great.
Slow burn.
Slow burn.
Slow burn.
I love slow burn.
I think an important like thing to mention, since we're gonna be talking about fics, is that not all of them have to be sexual.
No,
that's very true.
I mean,
no,
wait,
not all of them have to be sexual.
But I feel like that's a huge misconception in in
which I know
someone says fanfic.
Yeah, which I know. I love that lemon you're drawing there. Hold on, I gotta add to this art real quick.
Yeah. I'll say I've been reading fan fiction for about. I mean, I haven't read a fan fiction in a while, but I started reading fan fiction about 16 years ago.
Oh wow! Oh man, when did I start reading fan fiction?
Oh hell, middle school.
Yeah. So I'm about in that boat.
Middle school.
Yeah, it's I started reading fan fiction about like early middle school.
Siri, how old am I? Hold on. I'm actually gonna pull out a calculator for this because I'm old.
This art.
Yeah, about 16 to 17 years for me too. Same. Oh, I love what's happening down here.
I was gonna be like, no, Lynn, continue it. I love the. That is so cursed. I love it.
Yes, I was gonna draw the cat face.
Cursed.
And
yes,
you know what? I did read a lot of porn.
That's fair. I've read my fair share of porn too.
Yeah, I mean, everyone enjoys porn.
The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. Yes.
Get out of my head, Vic.
Grab your and. Yes.
Another, but a lot of it was porn. But a lot of it that I did read, like, some of them were really good, and some of them were weird.
Oh.
But like.
Oh no, I've read some weird ones too.
There were some written that like were. I would stay up for hours reading a like 20 chapter fan fiction because I was engrossed. But some were just like, wow, this is just porn.
Vic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Vic, you need a knot.
What?
You need a knot.
I can ship it. I'm allowed to ship it.
Do it. What was it?
Don't worry about it.
I need to see it.
It was gone forever.
Vic?
Yes.
Vic?
What? Don't look at Twitch.
It's hard even erase.
Don't look at it.
It's gone from Twitch.
It's gone from Twitch forever.
Speaking of Avenue Q, I'd like to say there is Avenue Q fanfiction.
I'm glad that you can find literally fanfiction of everything nowadays.
So looking at the chat, my mom
Yes.
and pop said that fanfic doesn't count as literature. Like, come on, what is a story in that case?
Excuse me, I have read some fantastic literature from the old archive of our own. Like, actually, like, no, like, legit, like, just, I know there's, like, a huge, like, thing, like, I remember reading an actual article about this. Like, this was an actual published article that showed up in the Houston Chronicle once upon a time. And my mother showed it to me because she was trying to prove a point that I guess, like, all the fanfic I was reading was, like, garbage or something. I think that was the point she was trying to make. I don't know. Anyway, the whole thing was, it was like, is fanfiction literature? That was, like, the whole article. Does this count as actual literature? And I would say yes, because it's written word. And it's telling a story. And I have read some, like, really fantastic stuff that is written online for free. Like, you don't have to pay for that shit. Like,
or you could be like a certain author and make a fanfic and then change all the names
and make money off it.
And make money off of
it. Hey, so that's where I'm saying there is some really, really good fanfic out there that is so beautifully written, and then there's also going to be fanfic that's going to not be as good, obviously.
Yeah.
And get published for it and make millions of dollars in 2 movies. Apparently,
there's like a fine line. There's a fine line.
3 movies.
3 movies.
Let me.
They made the entire trilogy.
Oh God.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, continue.
Let me make this line art here. So you've got, in the realm of fan fiction, you got the really good stuff. That's
good
free,
shit.
the good
kush.
And then right here you get like you're not gonna follow it. Who gives a crap? But then you get the absolute shit,
right?
Which is the best.
And then like
the good shit.
Somewhere veered off from that line is the just weird.
Yeah, and there's the weird shit. Yeah.
What?
But like
the what line?
The what?
But one of the weirdest, like, I'm gonna say one of the weirdest fan fictions I have ever read was I mean, it was well written.
Was it
question
well
mark?
written garbage?
No, it was well written question mark. Because they kind of didn't write it.
Oh. I need to know more.
It was the Boondock Saints.
Go on.
It was the Boondock Saints with Naruto characters.
Oh no, you said the magic word.
Oh. Shane, I need you to know that for like from middle school through community college, I read nothing but Naruto fan fiction. I need to know everything about this. And why? How is it I never read that?
It is literally just the movie, The Boondock Saints.
Okay, question.
But they replace
it. Yes.
But they replace every single character from that movie with a character from Naruto.
Okay, so the titular characters.
The main two characters are Sasuke and Naruto.
Okay, that's probably why I didn't read it.
Wait, hold on, Vic.
Yes.
We need to draw this, I feel.
Yeah, I saved it so we can clear this canvas and
catching up
go.
On here,
I'm on it.
The Lord and Savior is here. He's now in the comments.
Hello, Lord and Savior.
Oh, hey, Jesus.
Hello, Satan.
I hear. What did I miss? By the way, the 50, and then another comment. By the way, 50 Shades franchise started as Twilight Fanfiction. Yes.
They swapped out the characters and tweaked a few things, and they added some really weird scenes. Really weird scenes.
Yeah.
And really weird.
And then
as a writer, that's some very strange word choice too.
I think it has to do with publishing. If it's not published, it doesn't exist.
I mean, okay, so that depends on your definition of publishing. Are you actually going through an actual like trademarked publisher where it's going to print and you're making hundreds of copies and it's being sent out and you're getting royalties, or are you publishing online at a click of a button? Because technically, you can publish anything you want online.
On Amazon.
I'm on Amazon. I mean, yeah. So like, there's a whole Amazon marketplace for
fanfiction.net. When you upload, it's actually a publish button.
Yeah.
Not an upload.
Correct. Same for AO3. Same for WordPress. Like, so technically, if you're like hell, if you're writing a blog online, technically you're publishing online. It's just, I guess it's just the definition of what you discern is if you think publishing is getting paid for it as opposed to just posting something somewhere. Which, I know many of fanfic authors that are actually getting paid for writing, so that's pretty great. Patreon is a wonderful place.
Oh yeah, no, Patreon's wonderful.
It's really fantastic.
I'm happy to be a part of the Alistair Patreon.
Oh, stop it.
Vic is our lovely writer.
Who? What?
You're a publisher. You're published.
My God! What?
Yeah.
I'm also technically I'm part of the Geeks for Fun Patreon.
There you go. You're all
which
over the
goes
place.
towards paying the talent.
Excellent.
So I'm paying Alfie monthly so that he can pay me.
Perfect.
Don't cry.
I'm not crying.
What? Why are you crying?
No reason. No reason. Oh my God. Sorry.
Are you alright over there?
No, I'm fine. I just lost my pen.
I lost my contacts.
Sorry. I lost my... God, I can't make that excuse. I don't have contacts. My eyes work perfectly fine. I'm sorry.
Well, congratulations.
I can see for free, yes.
Then there's me
my favorite thing is we're like, wow, your eyes are beautiful. Thanks, they don't work.
Thanks, they don't work. Yeah, no, I guess it was just the whole epiphany of, oh my God, I'm actually published. Wow, I accomplished a dream of mine. What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a very heavy drink of whatever's in this glass.
Oh yeah, we're all drinking because.
Oh yeah, we are. That's why I'm probably so fucking.
Because we're actually going to be reading some fan fiction.
Yeah, we're gonna be reading some fan fiction later. So
I think we even started drinking before stream.
Yes, we did.
Right before stream, Vic and I both pulled up our old fan fiction pages.
Oh my God, we did. Oh boy, did we? Oh God.
Oh. Speaking of which, before we get into that,
yes,
and I'm going to postpone it. You're welcome, Vic. I have a story. We were talking the other day about character obsession, which
what up?
My brand, what?
What? My brand? I am absolutely obsessed with characters,
but like specific characters. Like if you're obsessed with one character.
Oh yeah, what's up?
And my worst experience with that also happened to deal with fan fiction. My first semester of college, I went to a community college, like, a while away. So I had to ride, because I didn't have a car or a license then, I had to ride the bus about maybe 2.5 hours one way. Every day I had classes.
Right.
And I noticed the first semester that on Tuesdays there was this girl who would come on the bus about like 15 minutes, half hour into the ride. And one day she was wearing a Star Trek shirt, and I was just like, hey, that's a cool Star Trek shirt. And we got into talking about Star Trek. And then she asked me 2 questions that changed our relationship for the rest of the semester. Do you like fan fiction? Or do you know what fan fiction is? And do you enjoy reading it?
Oh boy. Interesting.
I said yes to both. She then proceeded to gush about her Star Trek fan fiction.
Oh my god!
That she was writing with an original character who was written to be a love interest for Chekhov.
Interesting.
By the end of that semester, I knew every single goddamn detail about this fanfiction and her crush on Anton Yelchin.
Honestly, I respect that self-confidence. Like, I would respect the hell out of that.
I respect that too, but like as soon as she saw me on the bus, she was just like, would go into telling me about this fan fiction, and I would politely just like smile and nod and listen and just like.
And you're just like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah, like, oh boy.
And occasionally I'm just thinking, can we please talk about something else?
Oh yeah, I mean I get it. We've like, you know, I've had those. I've definitely had those hyperfixations, and I know for a fact that I will never shut up about specific pairings. No one say a word.
I mean, you can call my ass out too from high school.
Oh no, I will not call you out. No, it's been one of those things where it's been kind of a journey of, you know what, I definitely respect people that have the confidence to be, I guess, open about things that they are passionate about. I know.
I do too.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I do. But
yeah, I know.
In the moment, it's just.
I know.
Like,
in the moment, you're just sitting.
Talking.
I get it, because like in the moment, you're sitting there and you're just like, what do I do? What? How am I reacting to this? What's happening?
I can't leave.
I can't leave this conversation. I'm too polite for this. Yes, I've had that. Oh my god. Like, no, I get it. Like from like literally from like my start of entering fandom, I guess, as a young tween, and then on, there has always been like a single character that I have like latched onto, and that was like the one I obsessed about, about it. So like I get it. I hey, yes.
No, go ahead.
No, because I'm like, I mean if we're talking about it,
mine's just piggybacking off of Star Trek.
Okay, piggyback off of Star Trek, go for it, as I turn my mic down 3 degrees so that I'm not blowing someone's ears out.
My friend, apparently, like, she was venting to me about this Discord group that she joined. Apparently there's a Facebook group too, but it's all private.
Oh god.
And it is, it's nothing but these women who are obsessed with Data from Star Trek, and they do nothing but like write fan fictions, and one person's making a dating sim. Like, that's some fandom levels that I don't think I could ever reach.
I appreciate that.
Oh my god. But I was just rereading some of the stuff that she had sent me, like, she's like, yeah, these people are a little too intense for me at this moment in time. And I'm like, I can understand. And she started telling me like different
that
things
was the
that were
problem.
happening.
They were a little intense.
Yeah, and they're like, her argument was, hey, they're thinking and doing and writing about all of these interactions with this character who's like in his 80s. And we're just like,
what was
no.
that?
What?
Nothing. You just turned over and looked at me, and
I just happened to look at you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Was someone getting called out?
No, I just happened to look in her direction because,
no,
like...
it was the second that you mentioned it was someone in their 80s. Vic looked back, and I'm like, who did I thirst for? That was old.
No, I actually... No, that's not why I looked at you. That is absolutely not why I looked at you. It was in that moment, I was a dog, and I saw something move out of my peripheral, so I looked at you. That was literally all I did. I was like, movement. Where?
Well,
squirrel. Continue.
Squirrel. I like
timing.
how you wrote gun.
I don't want to draw guns. I suck at
Yeah.
drawing guns. I can't draw firearms to save my life. This is why I've never made a gunslinger character.
Yeah.
Because I can't draw guns. And the day that somebody actually decides to make a gunslinger character for,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm helping
And
you.
anytime, like, the day that somebody makes a gunslinger character for any Divine and Conquer stream is the day I just end myself because I cannot draw guns to save my life.
Alright. So definitely not bringing in my current dwarven gunslinger.
Oh
I
god.
know what my backup character is now.
Thanks!
I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, no. Oh,
I don't know anything about the
don't remember
Boondock
who my
Saints.
backup character
I
is.
just know
We
it from
don't
that
give her
poster
a
that
name.
is in every college boy's dorm room. That's all I know.
What?
I know
yeah,
absolutely
there.
nothing.
It's-
I literally know absolutely like, full disclosure, I know absolutely nothing about the Boondock Saints. I've never seen either of the movies. All I know about it is that it is in every poster of every college dude's dorm room.
Okay.
That's all I know.
We're here
The Boondock
for your
Saints
crimes.
is a really well-made indie film.
Okay.
It is an indie action film about two twin brothers, played by The Walking Dead's Norman Reedus
Okay.
and Sean Patrick Flannery, who, honestly, the only thing I know with him outside of Boondock Saints is The Devil's Carnival.
Good stuff.
But they're like twin brothers from Ireland living in Boston,
Right.
and on St. Patrick's Day, some like Russian mob enforcers come to like shut down on their favorite bar, and they like get into a bar fight with these two mob guys, beat the crap out of them, and then the next morning they come to their apartment to murder them, and they end up killing them instead.
Whoops.
They're let off because it was clearly self-defense, but they stay in the holding cell overnight so that they don't get bombarded with press.
Right.
And in that, during that night, they receive a vision from God to punish the wicked.
What?
They're two very devout Irish Catholic boys, by the way.
I'm glad I remember that symbol.
Um,
I'm glad I remembered that.
yeah, so they just randomly go on a John Wick style spree of killing mob people
Sure.
for no other reason other than God told them to.
What? I love
And
this.
Willem Dafoe
Willem
plays
Dafoe's in
this-
this?
Yes, he plays an FBI agent
Oh my god.
who is very clearly shown to be gay, but like is also insulting to to gay people as
Oh,
well.
no. Oh lord.
Like it shows him in bed with a man, and like they try to like cuddle with him, and he like slaps them and goes, "Don't be an F word." Or what an F word. but like he's very clearly like campy, kind of. But like they end up, yeah, like it's this really weird, simplistic and dumb movie, but it's really well made.
I can't draw these characters anymore. Oh my god.
Also Billy Connolly's in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Also, like, full disclosure for a second, I didn't know... My brain just could not connect what you meant when you said F-word, and I was like, Shane, it's okay, you can say fuck on here. No,
yes,
wait, that F-word! Never mind!
No, the other... The actual F-word I'm not comfortable saying.
That's fair, I'm not comfortable with that one either. I understand.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to realize that's what you meant, and I'm like, oh, wait.
Unless we're in the UK, I'm not comfortable saying it.
No. There are some words I just cannot say. It's one of them.
Yes,
Yes,
Jesus. Willem Dafoe does some amazing drag in that film.
Oh, man. You have sold me at Willem Dafoe and drag.
And,
God damn.
Jesus also said we should watch it legit. You will like it.
I will legit like it. Like, okay, I mean...
I would happily watch it with you.
Oh, yeah, man. Let's watch party at some time.
I do love that film.
Yeah,
the second one is interesting. It's okay. It's a decent sequel.
Okay. As long as it's decent, hey, that's something.
Yeah.
Sweet cephalopod. But I say this is so good. Squidney's on here.
Squidney's on here. Hey, Squidney, happy birthday. It's the birthday girl. She's here. Everybody wish her happy birthday, because I said so.
Happy birthday.
We've done it.
We've done it.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
But yeah, like the like Naruto fanfiction version of it. Naruto and Sasuke are the brothers.
That's so fun. I kind of like that in the sense of that's like the one fanfic where they're not shipped in together.
Orochimaru is the Italian mob boss.
Oh my god. I need to know who Willem Dafoe is.
God. I think it's Kakashi.
Oh my god!
I see that.
I can see it for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Kakashi. The Italian mob boss is like right-hand man, who in the movie is played by Ron freaking Jeremy.
Oh my god.
Is obviously Kabuto.
Fucking nerd.
And god, they're the two Russians that are killed off are freaking Zabuza and Haku.
Oh no! Oh, that's so sad. They don't deserve that.
My favorite little touch is in just like the opening intro during the credits, you see like their day leading up to them going to the bar.
Yeah.
And it shows they work at a meat packing plant or like a meat processing plant. And one of them is showing this new hire around, who's this very butch woman, and he starts saying like, so the rule of thumb around here. It's just like, rule of thumb, and like goes on to this rant about how the origin of the rule of thumb, which is in like the 17 or 1800s, apparently it was legal for men to beat their wives as long as they used a stick no wider than their thumb.
Right.
And
Yes.
fucking Norman Reedus' character just looks at his hand and goes, "Not much damage you could do with that. Maybe should have been rule of wrist."
Oh my god.
And he gets kicked in the balls.
Oh, love it.
And starts a fight with this woman.
10
In
out
this
of 10.
fanfiction I read, it's freaking Tayuya.
Of course it is.
Because this was still like 2004 or so.
Yeah.
When they hadn't even done the times.
Right, so like
know if they had even done the time skip.
So they would have like no idea who the Akatsuki are at all. So naturally, they were like grasping for villains.
Yeah. Or just like an unnecessarily mean character.
That's fair.
And like, and in the movie, their best friend is this like, really low-ranking member of the Italian mob. Like, he's literally just like a messenger boy. Yeah. And he ends up joining them because he like catches them in the aftermath of one of their killings, when he was sent to kill the people in there. There was 8 people, and he was given a 6-shooter.
Oh God.
Like they immediately pieced together like, oh, he was sent here to get killed.
Oh no.
So they like get him to join. It's freaking Kiba.
No.
But like it was just this weird fan fiction, and I remember it sticking with me because it's literally just the Boondock Saints, and I really like the Boondock Saints, but they replaced everyone with a Naruto character.
I love that so much. As somebody who wrote Naruto fan fiction, I greatly appreciate that.
Which I can talk for days on the subject of fan fiction.
Oh man, same. Like, I have such a history with fan fiction. Like, that's essentially where I got like my start as a writer, was through fan fiction, because
me too.
Like I didn't have any like, oh my god, it's like I didn't have any like original like story or anything happening at that time. Like, I would just write fan fiction because it was fun to do. Like, my first fan fiction I ever wrote was literally a Redwall fan fiction with like a self-insert of a character that I wrote, and there was like a whole thing going on with her and her family. Like, my first fanfic was Redwall fan fiction that I wrote in a journal somewhere, and it's lost forever. Like, I would like for those states that do standardized testing. For those that do that, there was always a writing section where they would give you a writing prompt, and they would be like, all right, write about something where basically like they'd give us like some weird subject. Write about a time where you felt confident about yourself, or some bullshit thing where you're like, write about a time, and you would have to write an essay pertaining to that theme. So naturally what I would do is I would just write straight up fan fiction. And there was a time, there was like one, I very specifically remember there was one time for one of those where the writing prompt was, write about a time you overcame a challenge. Basically write about overcoming the challenge or something. And so I straight up wrote Kingdom Hearts fan fiction for that essay.
Oh my!
And the highest you can score is like a 5 on those essays, and I got a 4, and I'm still proud of it.
Cool.
It was like I literally wrote a fanfic pertaining to when the one scene in Kingdom Hearts where like the first game where you first have to face against Maleficent as a dragon, and I just wrote an entire fanfic based around like Sora and his crew having a conversation and like kind of like hyping themselves up for it, and then they go and they feed her, and it's like a whole thing. So that's what I wrote.
Nice.
And I actually got a good score on it, so I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, man, I could do this. Now I'm writing a webcomic.
Yeah. And it's a really good webcomic.
Stop it.
No. But I actually have a theory about like what makes certain fan fiction topics really good. Like I'm looking at fanfiction.net right now.
Okay.
And I've got 3 categories up.
What's your categories?
Anime, books, and movies.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the top fandoms for each one, and it's Naruto, Harry Potter, and Star Wars.
Yes.
And here's why I think like what makes certain fandoms popular for fan fiction is not just like the popularity of the series itself, because that does play a big part. But I think what makes, because there are animes that are bigger than Naruto. There are movies. There are arguably movies that are more popular than Star Wars. Harry Potter, that's kind of fallen out.
Oh yeah,
But,
that's a tricky one. I for one, I think one of my favorite on the fly fanfics that was ever written for Harry Potter was the one where like very very quickly, because it's a hot topic at the moment, somebody on Twitter just said, "I am now the new author of Harry Potter, of the Harry Potter series. Harry Potter is now a trans guy, and nobody can stop me because I am now the canon author." And I was like, "Yes, I accept this."
That is a cool.
Speaking of Harry Potter fanfic,
I just have assumed that Daniel Radcliffe wrote the series.
Actually, my personal headcanon is that our great Lord and Savior DM Jesus wrote Harry Potter as a series, because he has a great Harry Potter fanfic that he streams on Wednesday nights.
The Harry Potter, Hogwarts preparatory game is really good.
Oh, I love it so much. Like, I love the whole premise of it, where it's just like, all right, you're in that time period, like the early days, like during the whole Grindelwald camp thing, and this whole campaign is just like based around Grindelwald like causing trouble, and it's like, I love it so much. Oh my god! And the last game upset me greatly. I'm still upset by this, but that's okay.
But yeah, what I think makes those such wonderful playgrounds for fan fiction is the authors, while not fantastic writers,
right?
J.K. Rowling, actually, all three of them share the fact that they don't write romance very well.
Yeah, this is true.
George Lucas, J.K. Rowling, and Masashi Kishimoto don't really write romance very well, but they make interesting characters, and they've built worlds that are concrete enough, that have a set of rules, while also having the world be flexible enough for people to get creative with those rules. Like, heck, even in Naruto, Naruto gets creative with with what he can do. Like, he's just like, okay, here's this thing. What if I turned this spiraling ball of death into this razor-sharp wind thing?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
I definitely love the whole the idea of here are the rules of the world. Now watch as the protagonist is going to get really smart and figure out how to break them. I love that shit.
It's literally if D&D, if like power gamers, decided to play an RPG, but didn't want to ruin everyone else's fun.
Yes, precisely.
Which I think that's just my theory about why those particular fandoms have a gigantic number of fics.
Yes.
And speaking of Harry Potter fanfiction,
yes,
I have promised to read the opening paragraph to the most famous Harry Potter fanfiction.
Oh my god.
The most famous fanfiction in general.
The most famous fanfiction in general, yes.
I mean, apart from the 50 Shades series, the most famous fanfiction of all time.
I'm so ready.
I'm sorry. Should
And
we talk
dead
about
silence from the chat.
Should we talk about what you're about to do?
No.
Okay.
Let's just go right in.
You're just gonna go. Okay, then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Let's just go right in.
Go for it.
This will actually be my first time reading this, because I've heard so much.
You've heard the stories.
Heck, even the link that you sent me, Lynn, is a re-upload.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. DM says to just do it.
DM says do it. You gotta do it.
Alright. And I will be doing it in Grayson's voice.
Of course.
I love it!
Of course you would.
Yes!
I have been asked to do it in Grayson's voice.
Please do it for me.
Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness, Dementia Raven Way, and I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name. With purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid back, and icy blue eye is like limpid tears, and a lot of people will tell me I look like Amy Lee. Authors know, if you don't know who she is get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was, because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm 2 sentences into this.
That's exactly the kind of phrase I needed to hear Grayson say.
I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17, and I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell. And I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it, and a black leather miniskirt. Pink fishnets, and black combat boots.
Okay, Grayson.
I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, and so there was no sun, which I was very happy about.
In a mini
lot of
skirt?
preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger at them. What the hell is this?
Did you just...
Are you reading my diary?
Oh my god, did you just read Grayson's, like, entrance into the high school at you? Because that's exactly how that went.
Oh my god, oh god.
Oh my god, why?
The entire, like, fanfic is written like that, and I'm gonna actually send you a snippet from later on.
Oh god.
Okay. But first, let me
This
give you
so
the
terribly written.
let me give you the plot summary of this.
And it's not even a. This was not. And this is the thing. It's not even a troll account. This was real.
It was real.
It was real, and then they tried to like backpedal and say that it was all fake.
Yeah.
Like it was
No.
It was a play on words.
Listen, you gotta. Sometimes you just gotta stick to your guns, man. If you're saying it's real, it's fucking.
I'm not gonna lie. Probably not the weirdest fan fiction I've ever read.
Correct.
It is just very horribly written.
Mm-hmm.
Hold, please. Hold yourself for a minute.
Like, no.
At least from that intro.
From later.
So, plot summary. The protagonist of the story is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, a 7-year-old vampire who attends Hogwarts, located in England instead of Scotland, as a member of the Slytherin House. Hogwarts is depicted as being divided between 2 cliques, the Goths, and that's Goff, Goths, and the Preps. Ebony and all the sympathetic characters are part of the Goth clique, while the members of the Prep clique are portrayed unsympathetically. Many of the main characters of Harry Potter are given gothic makeovers and moved to the Slytherin house, and are also renamed. The story begins by focusing on Ebony entering a relationship with Draco Malfoy, who is depicted as a shy, sensitive, and bisexual. Because of course.
Of course.
Draco invites Ebony to a Good Charlotte concert in Hogsmeade.
Whoa!
Oh my god. She agrees,
Wow.
and they fly to Hogsmeade together in Draco's flying car.
Yes.
Which in the fanfic, it's like I think it's like a Camaro or something, and it says 666 on the license plate.
Oh my god.
And he's wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. This was written back in like the early 2000s, guys.
I can tell.
I mean,
When they mentioned the whole thing, I look like Amy Lee.
I mean, technically, isn't Harry Potter supposed to take place in like the early 90s?
It's supposed to take place in the 90s.
But apparently, Hot Topic
the Battle
exists,
of Hogwarts
guys.
is in 1997.
But apparently, Hot Topic existed before 1997. Obviously.
Yeah.
They also go to a My Chemical Romance concert in Hogsmeade.
Fucking fantastic. I love that My Chemical Romance actually played at Hogsmeade.
Right, you know what? My Chemical Romance I could definitely see being popular in the Wizarding world.
Hold, please.
But Good Charlotte?
My Chemical Romance. After some songs are played, the concert ends abruptly, and when the members of My Chemical Romance reveal themselves to be Voldemort and his Death Eaters.
Oh shit!
Okay. Gerard apparently Lord Voldemort wrote an awesome freaking arc of the Doom Patrol.
I think actually what the real takeaway here is that we're agreeing that Voldemort is a major fucking hottie.
I mean, have you seen Ralph Fiennes?
Absolutely, yes. He's fucking beautiful. I love him.
But now I'm just imagining Voldemort as current Gerard Way.
Oh my god.
Just chubby guy in the dad sweater.
Aww, I love him. He's doing his best.
So, it gets weirder.
Oh my god.
I'm aware.
Somehow.
My other thing I want to take away from the snippet that Shane also read: pink stockings with red eyeshadow.
Yes.
No.
It's a look.
It's a look.
No.
It's a look.
Not even for goths, no.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just... Nick has got me addicted to D&D TikToks.
Yes, good.
And
join us.
And one person, he has a random dice table for outfits.
Yes.
And he constantly comes up with these random outfits, and he just like it cuts to him and it's just like, am I going crazy or is this almost a look?
Yes,
I love
them much. Yes.
For this arm right here.
I never said it was something you needed to apologize for, Nick.
I have a request.
Yeah, what's your request?
So for this like sleeve that you've got going on here, can you do something like that looks like this? Like stripes, like it's like white with like black stripes.
Oh, the Johnny the Homicidal Maniac look.
The reason I request that is because I actually had those and wore those in high school.
There you go.
Thank
you. Or the Burton
I'd had
look.
both of them.
The Burton stripes.
I think they had like Jack Skellington on them. I think. I don't remember.
I'm sure they did.
They probably did. I was one of those people. Let's be real.
My best friend worked at Old Hot Topic. Back when it was threatening.
Man, I so desperately wanted to be goth in high school, but my mom never let me because she would like freak out all the time. And I remember like one time, just out of the blue, a goth kid that was riding the same bus as me in like freshman year of high school just like looked me in the eye and he handed me over this necklace, and it was like a necklace with like a pentagram and like a satanic goat skull in the middle, and he just handed it to me without a word, and then he left the bus, and I was like, oh shit.
You have been chosen.
I have been chosen, apparently.
He could sense your energy.
Wait! Oh shit.
I also like to point out.
I think I just accidentally entered a pact.
Besides this, like.
Victor Eldritch Blast.
Lovely story.
Blast. Yes.
It points out that Hagrid is also a teenager in this universe, and he is a Satanist.
Yeah, consistency, you know?
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
why
it's
not?
just a really cool goat creature.
Also, they refer to Tom Riddle as Tom Bombadil.
Yes.
Also,
Tabitha, I
young
still
Tom-
stand by my request that in your Lord of the Rings one shot, I would like to play a hobbit named Tomadil.
No, you're not allowed.
Why
It's
not?
allowed.
I want to be Tomdadil.
No,
Why not?
Tom Bombadil.
no. Because
Tom Bombadil.
just no. Be too
Anywho.
damn OP.
I would not actually.
The group's already too damn OP.
We have a hobbit rogue. We're fine.
Okay, what is
yeah.
Dumbledore in this fic? Good
Dumbledore
question.
is.
Good question.
Fabulous.
Let me see. Dumbledore in this fic is named Albert Dumbledore,
There we go.
and he also gets a gothic makeover.
Of course he does.
There's also a cameo from a gothic Marty McFly
What?
from Back to the Future, who gives Ebony a black DeLorean time machine able to transform into an iPod, allowing her to travel
Sure.
forward in time.
Because why not?
Man, I thought my fanfics were
Oh
stupid.
god, this Grayson.
That's just high school AU.
That's just high school AU Grayson for real.
Yeah.
Like that's just high school AU Grayson.
As Jesus, how?
Hold on. Hold on.
I was told
I
in
gotta
middle
fix
school,
something.
Okay, go
Jesus
for
said
it.
I was told in middle school that I was too happy to be goth, but I perceived to be
God
proud.
damn it, Lynn.
One of the coolest goth characters I ever saw growing up was a happy goth. Because I used to.
Lynn!
What? I fixed it.
Thank you for fixing it. Let me put his red eyeshadow in. There. Okay, so now that that's canon to actual
Yeah.
D&D lore.
Yeah. But
Okay.
when I was younger and I used to hang out with my grandmother, we would just hang out and watch USA's marathons of NCIS.
Oh my god.
And I just really liked Abby. Yeah,
Oh, I know who you're
forensic
talking about.
analyst
Yes,
who-
the goth girl.
who is just the bubbliest goth you've ever seen.
Yes. Oh my god, my dad is obsessed with NCIS, and he's like watched like all 500 episodes that they have currently, or what have you. And it's like I recognize her as that one character from there, so I know who you're talking about.
All of the
No.
characters that I liked,
Lair
that I
check.
really liked in that series, are just gone.
Aw,
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah, she's gone. Freaking what was his name? Denozo. He's gone. He was replaced with freaking Fez from that
What?
'70s show. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think they got rid of Ziva and brought her back. But yeah, I think the only people who from the original days that are still in it are Sean McGuire and Mark Harmon.
Oh wow.
Wait.
Oh no, you know what? I think David McCallum is still playing Ducky. I think he's still on it. But other than that, it's just like everyone is gone.
Yes.
So I don't watch it.
Oh dang.
But,
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
I've never watched it, but it's always a bummer when like original characters leave. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, like
Makes me
I
sad.
liked the characters' personalities, like
Right.
Denozo, like being the movie buff, and yeah, Abby
Yes.
playing like a late 20s, early 30s character,
Right. Yeah.
and damn, she is gorgeous. Anyway,
Yes. Anyway, so are we gonna read fan fiction? Like some more fan fiction?
yeah.
Len, are you done with the thing so I can save it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to give him the Benji tear streams.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
No
it.
problem. I liked My Chemical Romance.
Lead of the Sea
and
Devils
I
is a
loved,
major
I loved
fucking hottie.
Good Charlotte. I liked Good Charlotte back in the day. I mean, whatever. They're fine.
I mean, I think the Sea Devils is a pretty solid band. It holds up pretty well today.
I have their band T-shirt.
Yeah, I know you still have their band T-shirt. Like it's really like taking a beating, but hey, it's lasted a long time.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay, now that I have this saved, what are we doing next?
I'm looking. Apparently, there's a B movie fanfic.
No.
Oh,
It's called She
sure
Wants
there
to Be.
No.
no.
No. Hard. No.
What is this?
Okay.
Hard no. So are we doing dramatic fanfic readings? Like what's happening here?
We can
Okay.
totally do that.
I actually have a fanfic generator
God.
pulled up. If we want to do that.
We can do that first
Uh huh.
because I don't know if we want to actually read from them.
Right.
I want to hear the description and like what is the thing that drew people in to your stories?
To my stories or just in general, like
Yes, your stories.
My
'Cause
stories.
I will read the descriptions of my 3 biggest fan fictions.
Okay, go
on
for it,
my
man.
page.
Yeah, go for it.
If you read yours.
Oh, bro.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Or
Fine.
Tabitha can do it.
Wow. Okay,
Or
I have.
whoever.
What do you want? Do you want my OG fanfiction account, or do you want my Archive Our Own account that I made like 5-ish years ago? How old is Overwatch?
Jesus.
Let's do the Overwatch one.
Oh Jesus Christ,
Which
that's
one?
gonna be awkward. One moment.
Are you sending him the one? No, wait, that was the different one.
No, I'm not sharing that one. I'm
No,
not.
can't do
That was a
that.
Christmas gift for a
Yeah,
friend.
It's 5 years.
5
It'll be
years?
5 years.
Okay, so I made this account 5 years ago.
Jesus,
Anyway.
if you're okay with getting demonetized, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
So
we'll read a Sonic fanfic.
All right,
Or generate a Sonic fanfic.
we can generate. We can totally generate a Sonic fanfic. Anyway, so 5 years ago, Overwatch came out. I got completely. It was my hyperfixation for like 3 years. And so I wrote some fanfic around it because I had feelings about characters that. So as it goes, you have a video game with very little lore and very little movement on the lore. So naturally, this left a very frustrated Vic who wanted the content, but there was no content to be had. So Vic wrote the content for himself, is what happened. And so I had a few Overwatch fanfics that I wrote. They're not okay. They're very. How do I put this? I'm trying to think how to put this. They're so embarrassing. I feel like I'm embarrassed to to openly admit it, but like this is like a thing that I guess is very personal to me in a way, in terms of subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so I have one fanfic that I'm tagged in as a partner for, which was a collaboration between me and a mutual at a time. And it's funny because they all have a theme, and all the theme is like basically stop me if you've heard this one before. Two unlikely individuals who end up accidentally starting a family together.
Huh.
Stop me if you heard that one before.
You know what? It sounds kind of familiar,
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of
But-
weird, right?
but I can't seem to place it.
Couldn't tell you.
No, I couldn't tell
Couldn't
you.
tell you. But anyway, that's all of my stuff. Of course, naturally, all of my work involves trans characters because, hey, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Demiplanes and Doodles. If you didn't know that already, welcome. So,
Yeah.
basically, I like how this one's very. So this one is like the one I have the most hits on for my Archive of Our Own. It's called The Gunslinger, the Archer, and the Bassinet. And it's at, let's see, It's been bookmarked like over 50 times. God damn, y'all wanted to read this?
Oh.
I feel bad that I never finished it. And basically, the summary that I have right now that I'm reading on the profile page is Jesse McCree has been feeling a little under the weather lately, but when he gets a checkup from the resident doctor, the diagnosis was the last thing he expected to hear. So, there's that. What?
Haven't heard that one before.
Lynn, I'm about to shove you in a matchbox. And then my other one that I have is called White, and it's also an Overwatch fanfic, and it's been bookmarked like 18 times, so it was like a one-off like blurb that I wrote, and basically it's Hanzo is no stranger to having gray hair, but now that more than half of his head is white, it makes him worried he doesn't have much time, and it's like a whole like drabble on like the more like mortality and shit, so that's a whole thing. Anyway, but that's not what we're here for. We're gonna go back to my
white hair, Vic. Really?
Yeah, I know. I was obsessed with a character that had black hair with white streaks in it. I don't have a type. Clearly I don't. Anyway, but that's not why we're here. I have an old fanfiction.net account that is like, what? How old? 2007, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. That old.
It's probably older than that.
I think it's older than... Hold on. No,
Mine's 2006, it says.
Okay, you're older than me, because mine says I joined on April 6th of 2007.
Okay, I joined it in 2006.
Cool. So, I'm reading through this account, and it's such a fucking cringe session.
My last update was 9 years ago.
I need you to know that there was a phrase that I used on my profile for fanfiction.net, and that is, I used the term emoist of emos. Remember that forever.
Wait, unironically?
Unironically, I used that term. In the year of 2000.
Sorry.
Yeah, in the year of 2007. So, there's that. So, going through that.
Okay, that's forgivable.
The emoist of emo.
I'm trying to actually read through my profile right now, and it's like one of those things where you like copy and paste like whenever you agree to a thing or something. I don't know.
I'm just looking at all the characters.
Like the whole like the whole have you ever tripped over your own feet? Copy and paste this to your profile. That kind of shit.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's I have like literally like a mile long list of that shit copy and pasted. Let's see. I gotta read and find the cringiest one. Hold on, because I feel like outing myself as a person.
98% of teachers do or have tried smoking pot. If you're one of the 2% who hasn't copy and pasted your profile.
Wait, what? Where was that at?
It's at the very bottom.
Oh, it's at the very bottom. Hold on, I gotta read that.
Bottom. Or like not in the very bottom, but
I gotta find
it's
this.
There.
Hold
it's
on.
like one of the first ones that you have.
Oh no, let me look for it. 98% of teenagers do or have tried smoking pot. If you are one of the 2% who hasn't, copy and paste this to your profile.
Good job.
I'm still in that 2%, y'all.
Oh, I'll change that.
No. Actually, it's a thing for me. Like for me, it's a preference of it doesn't make me feel very good. Like I feel sick.
Fair.
I feel sick whenever I smell it. So it's okay. It's all right if y'all smoke it around me. I don't care, but. You know, me personally, I'm just...
If you think those
personal
stupid
preference.
kids should give the poor Trix Rabbit some tricks, copy and paste this into your profile.
That Trix Rabbit was scammed. Anyway.
I still say one of the cruelest commercials ever.
The Got Milk commercial?
Is the Got Milk commercial.
That was so rude. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's see. If you now officially hate Sasuke because of chapter 358, copy and paste this to your profile. Oh my god, what kind of person was I in 2007? Anyway, let me scroll to my 2 fanfics that I have here. I have 2 whole fanfictions that I wrote in the year of 2000 in the year of our Lord 2007 and 2008 apparently. So this one was called Poisoned Hearts. It was my first like official self-insert fanfic that I published on the internet. And it was a Naruto fanfiction, because I was obsessed with it at that time. Mm-hmm. And I have 8 chapters written. I'm actually surprised I have 8 chapters, because I only remember 3 of them. That's how long it's been for me. I can't believe I have 19 follows on that.
No, you have only 7. The last one's an author's note.
Shit. That's so like me, though. That is so like me.
That's how mine was, too. Mine had, like, 2, 3 author's notes.
Oh my god, that's so like me. To, like, oh, I have 8 chapters. No, wait, one of them's just a footnote saying, I might finish this at some point.
Never.
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 No.
Oh, thank god I have somebody to cut my ankles if I don't finish Alistair.
It's like, Nick, have you written anything for Alistair yet?
Snips the shears. Okay, so Poison Heart. I'm actually gonna click it and open this page. Because I hate myself.
Ooh.
Oh god. I have over 8,000 words on this. Oh god, I spent so much time on this. Alright. The character's name, Tora, has lost everything. Her home, her family, all but her sanity. Okay. We'll get there, honey. I'm sorry. You are unlike any of the other characters I've ever written. You still have your sanity. God bless you. Until one day, she tries to escape. Tora meets with 2 unusual characters, both who belong to the Akatsuki. Will Tora join or will she fight? Chapter 7 is now up! That's what it says. Oh my god. I remember when we had to put the disclaimers in front of fanfictions because reasons. Because Anne Rice.
I have a few.
Because Anne Rice.
Disclaimers. Yes. Because Anne Rice. I have to read this from chat. Cold Crusader. Before I go to bed, I just want to mention a particular crossover fanfic that was about the Team Fortress 2 mercenaries got sent to the world of Remnant because of a teleporter accident. So all 9 mercenaries become teachers at Beacon Academy, a Team Fortress 2 and Ruby crossover. Or I should find it again. I read something similar.
Please send me that fanfiction. I need it.
I read something similar, except it wasn't Team Fortress 2. It was Borderlands 2.
I need both of these fanfics right now.
In that one, Tiny Tina gets built a weapon that is a D20 Morning Star.
Oh my god.
That like also functions as a gun. I forget what kind of gun it transforms into, but she calls it the attack roll.
Oh my god.
Also, like, a bunch of them become teachers, but Zero, it turns out, is 16, so he becomes a student.
Oh my god, I love it.
Oh my god, it's such a weird. It was such a weird one, but I liked it.
Oh, sorry. Y'all's accounts is older than some of the people watching the stream right
Don't
now.
shake me like that, because that's... I love High School Lady Grayson, thank you very much. He's very... Oh, man. What was his introduction? He rolled up in a Mercedes and just, like, was an asshole?
He showed up, yeah, he showed up in the Mercedes, or whatever car I gave him, I don't remember. He rolls up, I think he rolls up next to the Sea Devils van.
He does, and then he was, like, trying to, like I guess, ask for something, like almost like a drug deal.
I just remember Jamba got out and took whatever was left of his coffee and threw it on his car.
That's right, she took her coffee and she just, like, dumped it on his Mercedes and just kept going.
I remember him walking through the halls of school, and Nina's like, "Hi, Grayson!" He just slams her face in the locker.
Oh my god!
Do you remember that?
I don't! Oh my god, Grayson!
He was an a-hole. I remember when he got into a fight with the teacher, Oria.
Oria, that's right. Oria was like, "Grayson, do we need to have a talk?" And he's just like, "Fuck you, teacher," and she just took him outside.
I just remember that there was the running joke that she did make him cry.
She made him cry once. Oria would make Grayson cry once.
And then he joined the football team.
And then he joined the football team because... Coach Malthok was like, "I need players, and it's almost homecoming. Get your ass over here."
It was because he was a track runner. I don't know what spurred all of that.
He was a track runner, and now look at his deck.
I think you picked it because Expeditious Retreat.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
miss the high school AU.
I do.
Legs.
I greatly miss the high school AU. I love openly talking about it in the sense it's like we actually did this in high school and people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? You set a car on fire? You set your mother's car on fire? Yes, I did. There was an alligator under the van? Yes.
Someone kidnapped him and they broke his arm? Yes.
And then his boyfriend went to go rescue him and he flipped a van? Yes.
There was a dance-off in a very fancy restaurant with two really rich people.
Oh, that's a lot. We should just, like, okay. As a side project, we should just take that, rewrite all of it, and just post it somewhere, and just leave it, and see what happens.
God.
It was a disaster. I think my favorite part of that entire fanfic, it was a fanfic. It was
basically a fanfic, yeah.
It was a fanfiction.
It was a fanfic.
With original characters.
Correct.
Gygax, City Gygax.
Oh god, I want to see if there's like AU fanfictions of like Critical Role or Acquisitions Incorporated.
There are.
I'm
If
sure.
you go to Archive of Our Own, there's Critical Role fanfictions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, but I'm just gonna say our high school AU is the best version of a high school
Nick,
AU.
Nick and I have sent each other Critical Role fan
Vic,
art.
do you want to talk about Alistair and West's beautiful relationship in the high school AU?
So, Alistair and Wes.
I'm gonna go silent for a bit because I don't know any of this.
No, you're totally fine. Okay, so in our high school AU, Alistair and West grew up in the same orphanage together, and Sister Sarah was one of the nuns that cared for them. So that's where Sister Sarah actually came from as a character. She was originally like an NPC we created randomly just to kind of like take care of the children at the orphanage, and that's who she was.
And all.
Yes.
Yes.
Nobody talks about it. Yeah. So basically,
But I'd like to say right now though, this is pre-Alistair.
This is actually, yeah.
This is where we got the idea of Wes and Alistair like going on their own adventure.
Basically, yeah. Because it was a collaborative like role play scenario that we all went through, and it was like in that moment we were like all learning like different vibes with each other, and there was like a point where Lynn and I were writing out some characters, and we're like, wait a minute, Alistair and Wes like vibe really well together, like they're getting along so well. And then, like, that's, I guess, where we came up with the whole, and then there was, like, the whole thing where, we had to, like, do a reboot because, changing of writers, and then, I jumped on and I was, like, helping Lynn, like, piece things together, and that's when it was brought into the equation of, hey, what if West was in this story because we like how they play together in actual, like, in this whole, like, fanfic scenario that we were writing. Let's play with that and see what happens. And so we started writing out some scenarios, writing out some scenes, and the next thing we know, this whole comic happened.
Beautiful. They
Yeah.
started out as orphan bros that
Orphan
have known each other
bros.
their whole life.
And so oh my god, I love it because like they started out these like as like bros that grew up in an orphanage together, so they have some history together. Which it works for the like in this fanfic scenario, it worked really well. So it's like trying to. So for the Alistair comic, obviously they don't have that history, so it's like having to have them learn to be friends first eventually, and then they're going to go off on their adventure. But, however, in this fanfic scenario, when they were growing up as children, they created a super secret fort in the woods behind the orphanage called Fort Bro. And it was
hang out.
Yeah, they would go and hang out there, and
as teenagers, they would go and hang out there.
They would literally just like go. They would leave from school and they would go hang out in this fort that they made as children, like when they were like 6 or something.
What was the thing about the clown?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we don't talk about that clown. There's like some killer clown that like I don't know. Anyway, we made a blood pact about it, so
yeah,
don't worry about it.
It was just one-off scenario that they were like, bro, what about the clown that's out in the woods? Oh heck.
Oh heck, don't worry about it. We don't talk about it because of the blood pact. Anyway, they made a blood pact. Slight one-off It reference of Alistair and West having to fight a killer clown. Anyway, should that be canon in the comic? Question mark.
add that to the notes as well as Fort Bro.
Well, Fort. Oh my god, that would be so adorable. But yeah, so basically there was a whole fort that they
make a legitimate fort this time.
That would be so cute, honestly. They have their own little fort.
They like take over an abandoned fort.
And it's now Fort Bro. Oh my god, Lynn, I need to send you things.
Oh lord. But yeah, they were best friends, and like there was a whole part where like West went missing and Alistair had to go find him.
Oh yeah, the origin of West's facial scars. Yeah. Oh my god, that was so dramatic. That's right, because West was running away from. So what was fun about this whole fanfic thing was taking our D&D characters and translating them into everyday life as we live it now. And so when you have characters like West, who is constantly tragic, as I'm dropping things. So taking West, who's like constantly a tragic character, he has a whole complicated backstory for Sacred World, which involves a warlock that raised him as a child because she found him in the woods, like wandering around in the woods as a random child. So, yes. So, pretty much, for that, I wrote it to where he was adopted by this woman who raised him. She wasn't that great of a caretaker, and he ran away from home because of it as a teenager, and because West obviously failed a survival check for once in his life. He ended up getting lost in the woods, falling down a small ravine, and Alistair ended up having to go find him or something. I do not remember all the details of it, but Alistair was the one that eventually went biking to go look for him. And I remember, like, it was like we made it so goddamn dramatic because West ended up getting lost on the same road where Alistair lost his parents or something. Yeah, it was
haunted road.
The haunted road. We had like a whole haunted road. And for the record, the entire area of this fanfic was known as Gygax County. Yep. Please pause to appreciate that.
Which I find, I do appreciate. I also find it eerily spooky.
Yes.
That there is now a series on, I think it's like HBO or Stars, called Lovecraft County.
Oh, God.
Or like Lovecraft Country or something like that.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah. And it's just like, what an interesting way to just like take characters and put them into a setting. Just go. They're in kind of like a fantasy or D&D based setting. We'll call it Gygax County.
Yes.
It was Gygax County, Gygax.
They're in an eldritch horror
Gygax USA
setting. It's now Lovecraft County.
Yes.
We don't talk about Innsmouth.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Innsmouth.
We don't talk about fish fucking in these here parts.
Exactly. Yeah, that was fanfics. Fanfics inspire works of art.
All right.
So Alistair was one whole thing. Yeah.
Since I put Vic through that whole spiel of reading his own fanfiction descriptions, I've got mine pulled up.
Go for it, bro.
All right.
That's a synopsis.
The oldest fanfiction I have published is from like 2014. But the last update was February 8th, 2019.
Oh my god.
It feels...
You are more consistent in your fanfic writing than I am.
Honestly, it feels like it's been longer. Like, so much has happened since then that I'm just like, okay.
Man.
This is a long time ago.
The last time I updated a fanfic was December of 2017.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 5 stories.
Right.
2 of them are porn.
Yes.
They are both Aquaman.
I love it.
And honestly, the reason I wrote them was to fill a niche that hadn't been filled.
And that's Aquaman porn?
Aquaman and Mera. There was nothing with the canon couple.
That's so funny, honestly.
Like,
The canon married couple, and they have, like, absolutely no content about themselves.
yeah. Like, everything I found with Aquaman was, like, him in the Flash.
What?
Yeah, and it wasn't even Barry. It was Wally.
What? As my voice cracks at that?
Yeah, it's just like, what? Why?
Why? Oh my god.
Then there is the actual stories I put effort into.
I appreciate those. Thank you.
The ones that I put effort into were Naruto fanfictions.
Bless you, sir. Thank you.
Two of them, two
Okay.
out of the 3 Naruto stories are crossovers.
Are any of them pairings? I need to know.
Yes.
Perfect. Let's fucking do this.
Okay. I'm gonna say 2 of them are okay. Never mind. So, which ones do you? You know what? I'm gonna let chat decide because we
Okay.
haven't gotten anything. I haven't seen anything from chat in a while. Which of these 3 do you want to hear first?
I also want Tabitha
Straight up
input,
Naruto
too.
one.
You want me to what?
I want Tabitha input too.
Yes, I want Tabitha input too. So, which description do you want to hear first? Straight up Naruto, Naruto and Star Wars, and Naruto and League of Legends.
Oh no.
I'm curious about the Star Wars one.
I am also curious about the Star Wars one.
That one is my most popular one.
Oh my god, I love it. I have 2 loves in this world. Well, I have more than two loves. But in terms of fandom stuff, I very much love Naruto and I very much love Star Wars.
I have one.
What's up, Tab?
Okay, there's 2 people in chat asking for the Star Wars one.
Yes.
Okay. So, I will say that I also started writing this to kind of fill a niche.
That's usually the best way to start writing. Honestly.
And I think it's also how I got such an audience. Because this is a story with, I'm just reading, 8 chapters, 36,053 words, and 150 reviews. There's 755 favorites.
Oh my god!
And 901 followers.
Bro, I bow to your presence. Good lord. Good lord.
Alright.
Go for it.
And I'll do it in an epic trailer voice.
Please, yes.
Perfect.
Mandalore the Unrelenting's journey to an unexplored planet leads him to witness the final battle of the Yondaime Hokage, and to the adoption of a new member of the Mandalorian race. Now, 15 years later, his son, Naruto, who returns to his planet of birth, and the shinobi world will never be the same.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It is a story where Naruto becomes a Mandalorian.
Yes! Yes! Thank you! Yes, sir! Oh my god.
It filled a niche.
That's such,
I felt
that's
that
so beautiful.
filled a niche because I loved.
Oh, I
and
love
this was
Mandalore
first published-
so much.
This was first published in 2014.
My dude.
And this was way before, like, The Mandalorian was even announced. And just, like, a lot of people thought Boba Fett was cool. And I'd read a couple of the novels and were like, oh my god, the Mandalorian culture is so cool.
Right?
Looks at the Naruto Star Wars crossovers. It's just Jedi or Sith. Naruto becomes a Jedi.
Man, fuck that
Sasuke
shit.
becomes a Sith. Whatever.
Dude, like, oh my god. I remember back in the day, like, in, like, high school and college, when people be like, what are you, Jedi or Sith? And I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm a Mandalorian bounty hunter, dudes.
Yeah, fucking bounty hunters.
Fucking bounty hunter, man. That's where it's at. I don't care what's, like, literally, I'm the winner in the end because I'm getting paid, so.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Now,
I love it.
Now the other two.
Yes, go for it.
This is either a coin flip or you guys can decide. It's Naruto or Naruto in League of Legends.
I kind of want to know about the Naruto, just the straight
Yeah,
Naruto
just the
one.
Straight Naruto one, yeah, same.
I don't know enough about League of Legends.
Yeah, I do not play League of Legends, so I do not know a lot about that.
I actually discontinued the story because as I was writing it, Riot changed the lore.
What?
Yeah, back in like 2014, 2015, they like changed the lore, and I think a couple years ago they changed it again to like make everything consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But it messed with what I was writing the first time they changed the lore, and I was just like, okay, well, new fans aren't gonna get this because it's going with the old lore,
right?
And I can't just restart this, so whatever, I'm discontinuing it. But it had a cool concept. At least what I thought was a cool concept.
Okay,
so the straight up Naruto one is on the night before his 5th birthday, Naruto and Kakashi find messages from his parents hidden in the Hokage's office. This will lead Naruto down a path that will not only make him one of the most mysterious ninjas in the world, but also one of the most powerful. Oh, the path of the mercenary.
oh my god.
Basically, the story of it is Naruto fakes his death on the bridge, and him, Zabuza, and Haku start a mercenary company.
What the goddamn, I love it!
Because his mom told him to.
I love it.
Yeah, the League of Legends one was it just says when one of the summoners cannot contain the immense power of the Nexus shattering, the explosion of the crystal sends shards hurtling across space and time and into the world of the shinobi. Yeah. How will this affect the fate of the inhabitants? And to be more specific, a certain blonde Jinchuriki.
Oh my god.
So, the plot of that is because, like, if you've ever played League, and speaking of which, tune in tomorrow on Divine and Conquer where they will be playing League.
Nice catch, bro.
And at the end of every match, you like destroy the Nexus crystal, which basically is like a focus. Like you see or at least you used to. I haven't played League in years. You used to actually see the champions like materialize from out of it, and in this, some like new summoner gets distracted and for the moment can't contain the explosion of the crystal. So shards of the crystal just go flying off into like space and time and land all over the elemental nations. And my reasoning for it is because it's explained in the anime.
Mm-hmm.
The ninjas use chakra, which is basically ninja magic.
Yes, it's just ninja magic.
They're
all sorcerers, yes.
Yes, they're basically all sorcerers using ninja magic, but they explain that like in the like second arc, or yeah, you know what? I'd say it's probably still the first arc of the series. It's like chapter 5 of the of the manga. That chakra is basically the energies of the body mixed with the energies of the soul.
So they're basically sorcerers.
Yes. People who find these Nexus shards, when they channel chakra into them, because it has energy from their soul, it summons the champion that is closest related to them from their soul. They basically, it's their soul, their like spirit champion. Or something like that.
That reminds me of a specific fanfic that somebody that I love very much has written, and I would like for her to talk about it if she wants to.
I feel really bad because I kind of zoned out for a minute.
So, okay, no, you're fine. You're totally fine.
I will say, for everyone in chat who has played League of Legends, and even those of you who are like passively aware, the main pairing of this fanfiction is Naruto and Jinx.
I love you for bringing in such a niche pairing that works so well.
Also, he summons her when he's 5.
Oh my god!
Like, he summons a very childish, destructive person.
That's so cute.
When he is a childish prankster.
Oh, that is so cute.
But they end up, like, forming a bond.
Aww.
And, like, by the time he graduates, I think I even describe his outfit when he shows up in that chapter. Where is it?
As someone who's never played League of Legends, I looked up Jinx and I was like, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can totally see it just like by looking at her character model.
I'll show you her trailer later.
Oh god.
She's fantastic.
Oh yeah, her trailer is great.
I love her trailer.
It's a full-on music video.
Yeah.
Oh god, let's see, Naruto's entrance as he into the academy during roll call. It's like, here, sorry I'm late. I saw a spider in my apartment and had to kill it before it bred. Let's see. He had also changed his wardrobe significantly. Whether it was for the better or worse was up for debate. And he wore combat boots. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I intentionally made this outfit tacky because Jinx.
Yes.
He wore combat boots with bright neon orange laces. And buckles that reached up to his shins. Black shorts that reached just past his knees. A leather bomber jacket and with the right sleeve inexplicably rolled up to his mid-bicep. Depending on whom you asked, the young blonde either looked like an eccentric badass or one of the most idiotic people on the planet.
Oh my god, I love it. Also, I've been, like, reading through my old fanfic, and I realized that, like, I have, like, a thing at the end where I have, like, the characters actually talking to me, the author, like a little, like, quip thing at the end, and I think that's hilarious.
Apparently you kind of, Cold Crusader, fucking excuse me, Shane, Naruto and Jinx of all the 100+ champions.
Jinx is an absolute babe and waifu, thank you very much.
Also, this is back in 2014, when, yes, there was only about 100, but, like, I had to stretch, because there was a lot of characters. Oh no!
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Mm-hmm.
Vic,
Yes.
I didn't ever get this far, but like I had everybody's planned out. Oh, I. Okay, Cole. Well, I will tell you some of the ones that I had planned. Because Vic's boy Datara.
Yeah, what's
dude
up?
Who's like art is a bang.
I mean, he's one of my boys, but you know, yeah. Go on.
I was planning so far ahead to end a chapter with him showing up for League players in the chat, and the chapter was going to end with him holding up one of the crystals, channeling chakra into it, and the chapter ending with, "This battle will be my masterpiece," which is the selection quote for the champion Aatrox.
Oh my god! 10 out of 10. Also, I'm looking at chat and it's mentioning Allie should wear that outfit because wow, I need clarification on what outfit because I will drop.
I think he's talking about the dumb Naruto outfit.
Oh, that's right. Okay, got you. Anyway, so for Tabitha, because I know she's working hard on a really cool comic of her own design. So just to reiterate, so for Shane's fanfic with Naruto in League of Legends, there's magic that happens that allows certain shinobi that when they touch these crystals, they're able to activate and they can summon champions through them. And I feel like that's something that caters specifically to a fanfic that you wrote once upon a time.
My first self-insert fanfic I ever wrote was for my Naruto OC, who came from the
Village hidden in the rocks.
Village hidden in the rocks.
Say who she was related to.
She was related to Dadara.
Yes.
And she also could basically do something where she could basically use crystals and summon. I wrote this back in 2007. I came up with that idea.
I think that your idea was
fair.
Really original.
Yeah, that is pretty original.
Like, because her character would do this really awesome thing where she could collect the souls of the deceased and contain them within crystals, and then she would use those crystals to summon them as, like, how you would do, like, ninjutsu summoning. So she would actually create actual summoned creatures through actual, like, souls that once were living.
Yeah.
It's really fantastic.
It was some dark shit that she wasn't supposed to fuck with, and that's the entire reason why she got kicked out of her village, but whatever.
I'm trying to remember, like, some of the summons from that. Like, I think originally Gaara summoned like his summon changed with his soul.
Oh wow.
That was going to be a thing. Like his summon originally was going to be Renekton, which is this Egyptian, he's based on one of the Egyptian gods, and he's like this vicious crocodile man, and who like just wants to slaughter everyone. But then he, like, after the time skip, it changes to a different champion who is from the same area but actually uses sand and is like a pharaoh type character. That was definitely one. The only one I can, like, truly remember is freaking Shikamaru, because his summon is an OC of mine.
Oh, nice. I love throwing those OCs in.
Cause like the story was split between yes, Cole, Gaara and Azir is a powerful freaking combo. I crap. Oh, no, two I remembered. Zabuza and Haku. They had freaking, oh my god, I'm trying to remember. Tryndamere and Braum.
Braum!
Get behind Braum!
That's where Ragnar came from as a character! Jeremiah admitted that to me once. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh!
But you had the king of the Freljord who had a giant-ass sword.
Love it.
And you have the one who's trying to protect the Freljord. Freaking one of the main characters, it would flip-flop into the story was going to flip-flop between the Naruto setting and the League setting, so you could get like character development with both sides, them like
I love that,
talking over their relationships with the people that they have like been bonded with, and one of the characters is a summoner who has shadow magic. He has like shadow abilities even before he became a summoner, who decides to quit and become a champion because he falls for misfortune.
No.
Yeah, I know.
No, buddy.
Again, probably, like, some of the stuff I wrote was cringe. But, like, some of it was inventive.
I mean, hey, yeah, it works.
Yeah,
But, like,
honestly, I understand. That's the same way how it was when I did my self-insert. A lot of it was cringe.
I mean, your Bleach one, I think, was, like, one of my favorites, honestly. It was, like, really...
one?
The one you did where... Okay, so... I love how the one thing that we had going for us for in terms of fan fiction when we would just write for ourselves, like we would just like start writing and like share it with each other, was you were really into I guess isekai before isekai was actually a thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you came up with that whole concept of you created an OC that got thrown into the Bleach world, and you were very conscious of the fact that Bleach was a manga from the world you are from. So you're like, wait, I am in this comic right now, and I know what's gonna happen. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna fuck with the storyline.
Yep, that was
And
literally
so,
what it was.
and so you had like this character who eventually developed powers like very similar to kind of like your original Naruto OC, where you're capable of summoning these creatures, but they were like summoned based off the Zodiac.
Yeah, they were summoned based off the Zodiac.
Yes.
And they basically, it was something where they could attach themselves kind of to
That's
characters
right.
that fell under that.
That's right, because you were like latching
yeah.
onto specific characters' Ryatsu and using that to channel those entities.
Mm-hmm. But at the same
That's
time,
so
it
cool.
also started to so the story with that was it also started to kind of backfire because it started getting to the point where said characters could also interact with those creatures.
So it was like a monkey's
Yeah.
paw in a way.
Yeah, it was a monkey's paw
Yeah.
away.
That's cool.
But it allowed characters. So for those that are familiar with Bleach, one character in particular was Ichimaru Gin, who started interacting with his, and with the fact of my OC having the knowledge, therefore the Zodiacs also had that knowledge. So they basically were like, hey, so you know that entire plot that you're trying to do, that long, slow burn of screwing Aizen over? Yeah, that's not gonna work, bud.
It's not gonna work,
Yeah.
buddy. You're gonna die.
So it...
Allegedly, because I don't agree with it.
Yeah,
Honest,
allegedly.
you know what? There's a Marvel Comics character that I think you would enjoy reading about, Tab.
Huh.
Her name is Gwenpool. Gwenpool. Gwen Poole is a 19-year-old girl from our universe who somehow gets transported into the Marvel Comics world.
Oh my god. Yes.
She, this is a canon character. And she got transported, and she has like all this comics book knowledge because she loves comic books, and she wears like a pink version of the Deadpool outfit, but she has no superpowers.
Oh my god.
She's just has meta knowledge.
That's amazing.
So she just knows everyone's like weakness and etc. etc.
Yeah, and
10 out of 10.
She ends up becoming a minion for MODOK. because
of course.
Because MODOK threatened to kill her.
Fair.
If she didn't. And she like gets put on a team with like Batroc the Leaper and like a bunch of other people.
Oh my god.
And like when the team breaks up, she like is giving heartfelt goodbyes. And she says to Batroc, I'm really sorry to leave you, and I'm sorry this is probably the best that you're gonna be written for a long time.
No! Oh, fucking. Oh.
Damn.
Ouch.
But like recently, she's like friends. She's like pretty good friends with Kamala Khan, which fun character to mention.
Right.
Because if you don't know Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, well, in the universe, she goes online. She is known by the username Sloth Baby, where she writes Marvel fanfiction.
God, yes.
Her favorite hero is Captain Marvel, who she ships with Spider-Man.
Jesus.
I mean, hey, you know, go big or go home if you're gonna write fan fiction. Yes, Tabitha.
No, because I was like, now that you mentioned it, I was like, I think my favorite twist I had with that was eventually with the Gemini. That was the biggest one I think I...
Yeah, because you based Gemini off of the Final Fantasy Esper Zeromus? Or...
Oh, fuck.
I think that was his name.
No,
I think.
not Zeromus. Zeromus was Cancer.
Okay, correct. Okay. It started with a Z though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my brain is like short-circuiting at the moment.
trying to
And that
remember
might be
what it
because
was.
of the rum, so I'm sorry.
Zalera.
Zalera, that's who he was.
Oh yeah, I've been drinking whiskey this whole time.
Yeah, same. I've been drinking rum, dude.
Yeah. No, based it off of Zalera, and I remember at the time, because for some of the characters I had to do research on, okay, who's a Gemini? First one on the
Wow, the big bad.
list.
The big bad of the whole series. What?
Yeah, remember how you just said it was like a monkey's paw?
Or at least the one that mattered, I'm gonna say. I don't agree with the last arc of Bleach at all. That never existed for me, I'm sorry.
No, with that, it was, again, everybody jokes with the idea of, like, for Zodiacs, Geminis being, you know...
Yes.
But, with it being the twins, I was like, well, hey, that would be interesting if it actually got split off between two people.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have your two Geminis.
Which was Aizen, and the other one was Hinamori.
Yeah. The one that got screwed over so much.
The one, I was like, okay...
Girlfriend got screwed over, like, so hard in that series.
I think it was actually to give him a little bit of a redemption arc, too.
Which I love, which is always fun with fanfiction, is giving characters that you love a redemption arc.
The one I did mainly for that was, when it came to picking, oh my god, I still actually have this all saved on a,
I'm so glad I never published any of my Death Note fanfiction, because I would have just gone off so hard about how terrible Elle was as a person. Don't at me.
I'm doing
you know?
Yeah.
I have some hot
not
fanfic.
many people in that series were
No, they were all terrible.
characters.
But I have some hot fucking takes on Elle and Beyond Birthday, so don't start with me.
No. So, the character I think I gave the biggest redemption for, I think with that Bleach fanfic,
Yes.
was Tatsuki.
Oh, that's right.
As I actually...
Tatsuki as a character was completely shafted, and I agree with you on that.
Yeah, she ended up being the one that was picked for cancer.
She
and
deserves so much better.
Like later, because basically the fic started with the beginning of Bleach. When Rukia was taken back to Soul Society, it was like, okay, Ichigo's doing his group, my OC. Fuck it, I'm gonna make my own group.
We're gonna form an Avengers initiative, but with cool people.
Yeah. I'm looking at chat and I'm seeing a very good point.
Yes.
Fanfiction is sort of the gateway for people to write their own version of their favorite stories.
Exactly.
To see where to see what they could change. And again, going back to like what I'm the projects that I do voice work for, the What If community on YouTube is just like kind of the evolution of fanfiction.
Basically.
Where we've gone from telling stories in a purely written format to an audio-visual storytelling format where people can tell stories and do things like that. It's just really cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If anyone was on here during my first time guest starring, because this is my second time guesting on the show.
Yes.
I was working on one of my own what ifs. Actually, I was working on two. Both of them kind of fell through.
Oh no.
Just mostly because they kind of fizzled out. But I'm still working on others projects, and I'm very happy. But like I was working on two what if stories, which one was kind of plausible, the other one was wild and out there. I was working on what if Bane, the Batman character, was a Marvel villain, and the other one was what if Kakarot landed on Alexandria.
Oh my god.
Like what if Goku was in Critical Role?
Oh my god. Yes.
Which our friend Rachel did some fantastic art for.
Oh nice.
Of Goku in that. It was great.
Hey, I think the potential for a Dragon Ball Z tabletop game is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I wish they would do that. I remember I had a roommate who I do not speak their name. I don't speak about them because they were super toxic, and near the end of our friendship, I found out that they had been gaslighting me.
Oh, jeez, that's awful. I'm sorry.
For like 2 years. But they were actually part of a completely homebrewed, or like from the ground up, D20 system Bleach game.
Oh my god.
Where they were all members of the Soul Society, and like they were like squad whatever the fuck name number they were. And like it was from what I was told, it was a very interesting, very emotional game. But like yes, turning certain animes with like building blocks into tabletop RPGs can be is pretty interesting. Like,
oh yeah,
I hear there's some people who have like homebrewed an Avatar, The Last Airbender one.
I heard about that one. Yeah.
I think there's definitely been a few Star Wars ones.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. In our Friday game, Colton, he played in a Star Wars-esque tabletop game I cannot remember the name of it, or if it has a name, but he played a really fantastic game, and he told me like the details of it, and it definitely made me want to play it.
And right over there on my bookshelf, I have no idea why I'm pointing. You can't see me.
I can see exactly what you're doing right now, dude.
On my bookshelf, I have the rule book for the Firefly tabletop game.
Oh my god. Oh
where
my God.
they give you the option to like build your own ship and create your own adventures, but it also has Serenity and character sheets for all of the crew, as well as the story layout for all of the episodes.
That's
so
amazing.
if you want to, you can play the series.
I love it very much. I had to pause to make a face about it, about my excitement for it, but I love it very much. That sounds amazing.
But yeah, like a
Sorry, I had
honestly,
an epiphany.
What was the epiphany?
Phantom tabletop RPGs, I think actually makes a really good way of. We say tabletop RPGs and Dungeons and Dragons is cooperative storytelling, and doing that with like games and settings like Star Wars,
Right.
or things like that, it's cooperative fan fiction.
Exactly. And speaking of cooperative fan fiction, because I just happened to like move my eyes over to my bookshelf because you mentioned a bookshelf, and I thought for a hard second, and I'm like, what if? Hear me out. What if? I don't know if it actually exists right now, but what if it did? I very much would like to play a tabletop RPG in the world of the Dark Tower.
Interesting.
I think that'd be fun.
Holy
I know there's a
shit.
Discworld
That would be wild.
That was
RPG.
funny. No, but it's funny that you mentioned that. Wow,
Right.
that comes full circle. When we
What's
were
up?
talking about fan fictions earlier, one
Yeah.
of my favorite ones I ever read, and it's funny because I read a fanfic before I actually watched this series done at me.
Oh, okay.
I read a Cowboy Bebop Dark Towers crossover.
I am severely invested in this.
And it was basically what happened when after Spike died.
No!
He ended up in the world.
I need that so much right now.
And you want to know what
didn't die.
sucks? I just tried looking it up and it doesn't exist on fanfiction.net anymore.
Yeah, no.
I think the person deleted their account, so.
Okay, Vic.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Tower RPG is a complete game that uses a modified version of the Chaosium's basic roleplay system.
What?
The system used for Call of Cthulhu. Players can originate in many realities, including worlds very similar to our own modern day, as well as other realities like Midworld.
Oh my god!
I'm excited.
This is the ultimate fanfic.
Yeah.
The first link is to a place called 1D4chan.
Yes.
And the other is thedarktower.org with a link to the Dark Tower RPG.
We gotta go find this. I have a need.
I will send you the link.
Please, yes, send me the links. Oh, that's exciting.
Okay.
Yes.
The second
Yeah.
thing I need to joke about.
And I know this may excite Tabitha as well. There is also a Discworld RPG system.
Oh my god, the face she just made.
RPG system is.
If I can illustrate the face she just made.
It's
I'm gonna illustrate the face she just made when you said that.
It's really exciting.
Yeah, it uses GURPS, Steve Jackson's general use RPG or roleplay system.
Did you delete it?
Did I delete sweat?
The Dodara art that you
Yeah, of course I did. I'm drawing your face.
Oh my god.
Did you save it?
Yes, I did.
No, because
Okay.
I was gonna joke in the sense of, you know, with just the fact that you had drawn Dodara,
That's so-
I was waiting. But
Lynn, are you here? We haven't heard from you in a while.
I'm alive. I
Okay.
don't write or read fan fiction, so I'm just happily listening to you guys.
Okay.
Lynn's just safely sitting in your pocket, Shane.
so
Okay.
I'm well adjusted enough as a youth apparently to have not have needed to like indulge in fanfics.
All right, you know what? I will agree with that because like I admit my first. I think my experience reading fanfiction, my gateway was Sonic fanfiction.
My gateway was Final Fantasy.
There we go. There's the face.
I didn't care enough about things
That's fair.
to warrant me wanting to like interject or like rewrite anything. I was just kind of like,
You were happy and content with the way things were, that you didn't feel the need to write extra content for it.
I didn't really do anything.
So
that's fair. That's fair. We've had that whole conversation where you've never watched anime so much, so
not really, no.
Yeah. I've watched many anime that made me very upset.
I don't get like fixated on like shows or any type of music or stories or books or anything like that. Like I'm just like, okay, that's done, and then I just move on to something else.
Okay, that's fair. Tap.
I never get invested.
Aside from my
yes.
self-inserts and the one that we collaborated on,
which
so
one?
I got the first chapter of that on fanfiction.com.
You do?
I had tried, because I was originally going to transcribe it all onto fanfiction from DeviantArt, and I never did.
Wait, you have the first chapter of that?
Yeah.
Oh my god! That makes me so happy. Oh my god, our first fanfic that we collaborated on together.
I reread it while we were sitting here.
Really?
Oh, it's horrible.
No!
It's so
I want to read it!
No.
I really want to. Can I read the first few sentences?
Hell no.
Please.
No.
Can I just read it without saying it
No.
out? Can I just read it not out loud?
I will send it to you.
Thank you. I want to read it.
No.
I'll read some paragraphs out of my terrible fanfic. I'll do it.
Here's the funny thing.
Yes.
With you drawing Dodara.
Yeah.
The one other one I have on here.
What's that?
Because I was gonna.
That's right. You're crack pairing.
My crack pairing.
That's right. I remember when we used to call them crack pairings too. That's how old we are.
Yeah. I remember that too.
I had so here's the thing, Shane. I had a list of some that I was gonna do just to basically help me with writing and coming out of like my comfort zone, like with posting stuff online. That didn't last.
Coming out of your cage and you were doing just fine.
Yeah, and no. Oh, he's dreaming.
Oh my god, the dog is dreaming. We need to announce this.
Sorry. He was twitching.
No, it's very important to know. Oh my god, his feet are twitching. He's so cute right now. Oh, Champers. Oh, Champers. He's such a good boy right now. He's actually being a good boy today, I'm surprised.
Oh my god. I actually
He's usually a
listed
bastard.
the ones I was gonna do.
What's up?
So,
Yes.
the main two that I had,
Mm-hmm.
the one that I actually posted.
Yes.
So, Shane, I was gonna do a Full Metal Alchemist and Naruto crossover.
Her.
Interesting.
No, it's really good because I know I read like a few preliminary chapters to it, and the process is very interesting.
Interesting. I remember reading an FMA Inuyasha one.
Ooh.
That was interesting.
See, I usually just... oh my god, that reminds me. I wrote an Inuyasha fanfic. I never published it, but it was written in a journal. It was all werewolf-based, so that's where I was at that time.
The way I had with it was...
Yes.
Literally, you could just state, curiosity killed the cat.
Or the canary, should you say.
Yeah, the canary. Because it was literally one where, it was Dodara who...
Was grieving. For his partner in crime, who died unfairly in the very first arc of Shippuden, which was completely a stupid matchup to begin with. What?
We get it.
I'm just saying, I have notes about Sasori as a character that could have been utilized better.
So yeah, it was kind of like finding information on transmutation. Human transmutation.
In a book that, yeah. So
goes out of their way to try to do that. Backfires horribly.
Accidentally opens the gate.
I read a Naruto FMA crossover, which I really liked, where the fox was actually Ed.
Dude. Nice.
And like he teaches
smallest
Naruto
fox
how to do alchemy, and he like transmutes and like creates he creates Al. Oh, but he actually ends up creating Al.
Whoops!
He ends up bringing back Al in full armor form. They, like when he does his first transmutation, and Ed comes out in fox form, but he's the size of a plushie.
Oh my
So
God.
he still has his Napoleon complex.
10 out
my
of 10.
God.
But like he ends up like getting his own special team, and God, he ends up forming a polycule
Ooh.
Where's my
with
phone?
honestly
I gotta grab-
two of my
grab the
favorite
phone.
side characters. He forms a polycule with Kiba's older sister and Anko.
Oh my god!
But yeah, long story short, Dodara ends up going through the gate and ends up in,
I'm drawing it right now, so don't worry.
world of,
Oh God, who does he
Full
end
Metal
up
Alchemist.
Amistress?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. I'm only slightly obsessed with that show, so I got you.
Hold on. Can I guess who he ends up with?
Yeah, go for it.
Deidara.
Yeah, Deidara goes into the world of Full Metal Alchemist, and
My first thought is greed. That's my first thought.
Yowls in the background. Sorry if my mic picks that up.
I'm sorry, but that is my first thought.
Is greed? I mean, it's a
My
good
first
guess.
thought is greed.
Yeah, a little bit more.
I'm trying to.
Shane, who radiates just, bitch energy?
Envy.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my! Why didn't I think of that?
The joke
I think it's because-
joke is it is like that Spider-Man meme of like just the pointing at each other, because it's like it is basically a whole enemies to
Enemies to lovers.
is what it was.
It's an enemies to lovers trope. It was so fantastic.
Oh
My God, how did they meet? Oh my God, I remember that whole arc that you wrote.
Which one?
The one where, because we were still working in 2003 rules, where, if you tried human transmutation, it ended up accidentally making a homunculus. And so, because Dodara tried doing, alchemy to bring back Sasori, it made a homunculus of him, and that completely fucked with his head. I remember that. I remember that plot point. That was so fucked up. How dare you hurt my feelings like that?
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh,
I forget what it was called, but like
10 out of 10, best pairing.
there was a freaking FMA fan fiction I read where Winry got kidnapped and ended up waking up with amnesia
Oh no.
because she was captured with a bunch of other people and turned into a chimera.
Oh God, that's like
But
my brand of writing. What's up?
But her combination didn't make her animalistic. It gave her wings.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
it basically like turned her into an angel.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm not gonna lie, because that's like, because usually there's like a specific brand of writing that I follow, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, just wings and mostly human looking. That's
I think. Yeah, I think.
okay.
I
Just, like,
think it
cop
was.
out.
I think
I
it was partially
know.
based on some like James
I'm
Patterson
sorry.
young adult book.
I'm sorry. I love monsters. The more scary the monster, the better.
Yeah.
That's just my brand. I'm
The
sorry, Lynn.
only-
Don't say a word.
The only two things I remember the only two things I really remember from that fan fiction. One is Granny makes her a custom bra.
That's
to work around the wings.
That's important. That's a very important detail.
Is the second and is there is a love scene between Winry and Ed.
Oh my.
Where Ed takes his hair tie off and transmutes the rubber into a condom.
What? What?
Wow, what the fuck?
Then for like his birthday, which is like soon after that, Winry just gives him a giant bag of hair ties.
Lynn.
And everyone
God.
and everyone is just like confused as to why Ed is blushing so hard.
Oh no, reverse sneezing dog. Oh god. Oh my god damn. I need So this might be the rum, but I feel like I need to openly call this out. Lynn, if you're there, in the walls, as you usually are. So
I think she's in my flask.
She's in the flask right now. That's fair. That's fair. Anyway, I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna keep saying this because why not? And we're still going. Which we should be ending soon at this point because we're like way over time. Lynn, why is it that we wrote "disgrace to have so many children" while Grayson is a conjuration wizard? Question mark. I'll let everyone else fill in those blanks. Silence is damning. Guilty. I knew it.
I have to admit,
it's been a while since I've drawn Genvi. My God.
Thinking back to my tastes in fan fiction, I'm just like rediscovering a bunch of things that were really obvious about myself.
No, same hat, dude. Same hat.
Oh
my god.
I was really into I was really into when I read long stories, like stories that had like good plot and things like that. Mm-hmm. The ones that I always really liked were either just monogamous, like really interestingly written romances. But I also drifted toward the harem stories.
Dude, oh my god, I remember reading harem stories and getting so pissed off because it was like, oh, you have to choose one or the other. And I'm like, why can't they all hold hands?
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing is, like, I realized, like, now, in my 20s, realizing that I'm polyamorous, I'm just like, it makes so much sense.
Dude, yeah, no, it does.
I liked this, and, like, two of the ones that I was writing were harem stories.
Dude, yeah, no, by the time I was writing, like, my second polyamorous couple in an actual, like, in an actual story, I went, wait a minute. There's a reason I'm writing this. The same thing actually happened when I started writing trans characters, and I was like, wait a second.
I will say this, for the for the straight up Naruto one, where Naruto starts a mercenary band with Zabuza. Mm-hmm. Because it's never truly, I mean, it is said in the manga, but I wrote Haku as a trans man.
Oh, wow.
I wrote Haku as a trans man, and I put him into a relationship with, I was going to put him into a relationship with Sai, I believe.
Oh my god.
Who...
That's interesting.
The man in canon, he had a child with Ino. Mm-hmm. She is a beard.
Oh, for sure. I agree.
Ino is a beard.
Oh, I agree with that. But then again, I can always chalk that up to so Lynn has said that headphones have died, but she's still here with us. So
okay.
So that's why she isn't answering my very my very important question, which I will ask again when she reappears. But yeah, no, for sure, Eno's a beard. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he still loves his son, but Eno is a beard.
I would completely chalk it up to, obviously, Masashi Kishimoto just wasn't the best at writing relationships, and naturally when it came to time for the producers to be like, alright, it's time to end the manga, he had to write up some really quick relationships real quick that didn't make any sense at the time, and now we have a whole, 3 seasons of Boruto on it, and we have to try to explain why it works.
I will admit,
yes,
as weird and out of left field as it is, I really do like Choji and, oh my god, I'm forgetting your name.
I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like them as a as a couple. It's just,
oh no, for sure.
It's out of left field, but it's just you know what? I get it. I still don't. You know what? I have nothing against larger women.
Mm-hmm.
But why? What happened to Anko?
You know, I don't have an answer for that. It's just one of those things where I, as a writer, just immediately explain it away as it's just not the best writing. It could have been explained. It could have been treated better, but it is definitely not the best writing.
Yeah.
Which is such a shame when that's used as it's such a shame when that's used as a joke for a character.
I remember being mad about that because I also remember reading in an interview or something that Kishimoto even said she is his favorite character because of her interesting relationship with Orochimaru. And I'm like, she's your favorite character, and then you just randomly decide
to make her a joke.
Yeah. Why doesn't she do almost nothing in the end of the series, and then in the epilogue, hey, guess what? She put on a lot of weight.
Oh God.
This character who I dressed really sexily and made her this intimidating and interesting character who used her sex appeal like an actual ninja would, but she's big now.
Oh God.
She likes food. Food. It's just yeah, that's what makes me mad, is not the fact that she got big, it's the fact that it was without reason and it's just for kind of a joke.
Right. Yeah, it's a shame when stuff gets written like that canonly and you're just like, why? But yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I think we're way past that time. So
I think we're way past the time to start the final draw.
Oh, yeah, no, I decided to just draw some self-indulgent stuff, so that's there.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, yeah, Lynn answered my question, by the way. The answer is, Grayson said, I never thought I'd get this far. And he said that at least 4 times, and that's as many children as he has. So, and the follow-up is, let's be honest, with his dexterity, he'd still wind up with children regardless, so.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah. There's a lot of, dex saves that you have to do in the chances of obvious blood magic rituals that happen to get them. Obviously.
At least he passed the con saves.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still sad. Anyway. So.
Oh yeah, you get to talk about that on reroll.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that on reroll. I got words for you after this, but no. So thank you all for joining us. I'm sad that Lynn's headphones stopped working at this moment. So
Yeah.
Lynn has unfortunately been silenced by the universe. It finally happened.
Now, if only we could shut up.
Oh God, right? I'm waiting for the universe to silence my ass. Like, oh my God. What? Don't stare at me like that.
Bad. No.
What? I'm allowed to say it.
No.
I talk too damn much.
This is why we're gonna have a whole fanfiction part 2.
Oh God, we're gonna do it. Yeah, so fanfiction part 2 is definitely gonna happen, and we're gonna do all of this again. Eventually, we're gonna do this all again. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for staying with us through this fun talk.
I know for some of y'all it's super late.
It's super late. Oh yeah. So it was fantastic having you all here. It was fantastic having Shane, who has a wonderful, amazing voice that does awesome, cool voice work for Geeks for Fun. I'm getting dinged again on Facebook as I'm trying to translate.
Also, I'd be remiss because many of the people who are watching in chat right now, I'm also part of a project to recreate the to give voice to the audio posts for a music tournament that was on called King on the Siva Gunner YouTube channel called King for Another Day, and they just did music rips, but like each character was a member of the tournament, and you got to vote based on like their source lists to like who ascended and got to take over the channel.
Oh man.
It was super cool. I'm super happy to be a part of that community, and on the recreation Discord, we're on constantly. You know,
nice.
We like constantly either just like just chat. We've been doing a lot of tier lists lately.
Oh my God.
We had a saga where we spent like 3 streams doing a tier list of every single Oreo flavor.
Holy shit.
There are so many goddamn Oreos.
I'm honestly surprised that there's so many Oreos flavors in this world.
There was the wasabi and a hot chicken.
What?
Yes.
Oh God. Oh Lord. Oh man. Right.
It was, yeah. But like the K-Fed recreation project I'm a part of, and shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining.
Yes.
Hang it.
Yeah.
This is so much fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Literally, you just have to ask me to come on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We will definitely find more topics for you to join us with so that we can talk about it and have your wonderful, beautiful face and voice on here. And
yeah, Jeremiah. And it wasn't. And if it wasn't hot chicken. It was buffalo chicken.
What?
It was spicy buffalo chicken.
Tabitha, why have you not told me about any of these Oreo flavors? Because I know you're obsessed with Oreos.
I'm not obsessed with Oreos. I'm obsessed with cats.
You're correct.
There was one we put below F tier in that one. Yeah. And that was the Supreme brand Oreos. Like the clothing company.
No, hard no. I'm shutting down right now at that entire concept.
Yeah, they're literally just red cookies with the Supreme logo printed on them.
I have opinions on Supreme, but I won't say them out loud.
No, we were all just like, holy shit! Some of these packages are going for like $300.
Why?
Who would pay that much?
No! Oh my god, dude! I cannot wait for us to eventually meet up in real life and have these conversations.
Oh god, when we meet up, it's just gonna be us and like Jesus and Jeremiah hanging out. We're
gonna be in a kitchen somewhere and just making food and talking about the weirdest stuff, and it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a great trip. Like
it's gonna be fantastic.
I've said many times, and I will say this on record.
Yes.
I literally just want to sit down and have I just want to sit down and have a conversation with Jesus. He seems like a super interesting dude.
Oh, he's a fantastic guy to talk to. I love having conversations with him at like odd hours of the night.
Let alone playing a game with him, either as a player or him as a DM. Like I would love to play with you, Jesus.
Oh man,
it would be awesome.
He's such a fantastic DM. He's a fantastic player too. I enjoy having him on Horde of the Dragon Queen on Monday nights.
You will get to talk about this on reroll.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus, I'm happy to say, you and I have done, and apparently I have done something recently that only you have done as a DM.
Shane has accomplished a Herculean feat in my years of playing Dungeons and Dragons. And only two DMs have
cry.
Two DMs have only successfully made me cry in game, and it's only been Shane and Jesus, and that is a testament to how good of DMs they are and how invested I am in their campaigns. Because if I start to cry in your campaign, that means I am fully invested. Oh,
I don't think I've cried yet in a game.
You haven't played with Jesus yet. It might get.
Damn, Jesus Vic crying, ha ha ha.
Yeah, I cry. Trust me, there was a whole laugh session about, we made Vic hurt this game, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah. I make myself hurt every game.
Find all the Oreo flavors.
Before we get past 3 hours, let's just say goodbye.
We're gonna say goodbye as I'm pouring out my next shot of rum because I need it.
Right.
So yeah, good night, guys. Thank you all for joining us. As always, check our links down below. Support Geeks for Fun. Support the Alistair Project. Check out Talon and Claw. Check out our merch, etc., etc. If you're watching this at a later date, again, all of our links are down below on YouTube. And as always, hang loose and stay righteous. Good night, guys.
Night, guys.